Good morning from the Mama We Made It headquarters.
What it do?
Hope y'all are having a gorgeous morning like we are. It's hot as hell, though. Woo, woo. But we're going to let this podcast cool you down.
Get it.
This is a story of triumph. This is a story of trials and tribulations. And this is the first time we're going to hear the story of Yannick Kofi, a.k.a. King Thurz, a.k.a. Mr. Dub Me Fat Noosh himself. I cannot wait for you to get this.
One of LA's finest. Tell him, Nooshi.
Mama, we made it! Oh my God. What it do, though?
Yeah.
Yo, this is fucking so crazy and so sentimental at the same damn time, yo.
Dude,
We have such a special guest in this building with us right now. I don't even want to tell you his name yet. You may know him from You and I. Actually, you may know him from Rapture Camp if you really like that thuggish. You may know him from You and I. Or you may know him by his name, Thurz.
King Thurz is in the building. Welcome to the stage.
In the
King
building,
Thurz, baby.
And King Thurz is here on a motherfucking Thursday. The irony. The irony.
Yeah, that's how it's got to go.
And you know what's wild? Shout out to the fact that nobody can really see this, but Thurz is Snapchatting while we're talking right now. But Thurz also knows my chubbalicious ass isn't fazed by that. You
Thurz
know what I mean?
actually has a camcorder from
Can
1989.
I drop a gem on y'all before we even start this? Those that know Fat Noosh, okay, have to pay homage to Thurz. Because when we were on the road, and we'll get to that, Thurz dubbed me Fat Noosh.
I love it.
Because I would eat anything, everything, anywhere, but he couldn't tell me shit because I was driving everywhere and we were getting it done.
Dude, I love that you came up with the Fat Noosh, man. That's how many years has Fat Noosh existed?
Bro,
damn, how many years has that been?
I think we're going on
like 6 years now. Huh?
Yeah.
It's been about 6 years.
Yeah.
Fat Noosh.
Just change your name, bro.
I mean, bro, like the hashtag
DJ
lives.
Noosh.
You feel
DJ
me?
Noosh. DJ Nooshy Noosh.
Hey, Nooshy Noosh with the Yo, but we have Thurz with us, and you know what I'm saying? Like Thurz, just to kind of intro this a little bit, man. Like this is one of my blood brothers, man. Like to be honest, I got thrown into the music world and tour managing after they gave me an opportunity after South by Southwest of 2010, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I really we're going to get to that part of the story, but I'd really love to start with how your musical journey started. And you know what I'm saying? Like you come from a Belizean background.
Yeah.
Music had to have been in your life from the get-go, but let's start with when you really started taking it seriously and had an ambition of doing something with it. And let's let the journey speak for itself.
I guess I'd say it started around 1st or 2nd grade.
Really?
Yeah. And this is really, I got to blame, the music I was listening to at the time. I was a big fan of MC Hammer and Crisscross.
Hell yeah.
Specifically Crisscross.
Did you have the tape?
I did have the tape.
Hell yeah.
I had the single, the single Jump, and then I had their album. And the cross-colored gear they had on, I thought was so fresh. I used to turn my clothes backwards.
Wow.
And rock it like that. And then my mom bought me a keyboard and had a little mic. And I tried to finagle a little system to record into her little stereo system at the house.
Really?
So,
that early?
I was like 6, 7 years old, writing raps. I was at Darby Park. And I'd be rapping in the sound lot to my friends or whatever, and we'd be on the football field. I started like a little rap group in 2nd grade.
No way.
the little giants.
Yeah,
that's incredible.
Yeah, dog. So it's like, I never turned away from it. It's been since 2nd grade when that urge to want to be an artist kind of really started.
Dude, I love that Crisscross is such an inspiration. Like
right?
For so many people. I remember for me, I started rapping because of crisscross. I was like,
you.
wait, let me figure this
shout
out.
out to y'all old ass motherfuckers right now, though. You feel me? I have no hair, but I'm way younger than y'all.
Shout out to crisscross though. Crisscross was truly revolutionary.
Man, they were. They weren't the best rappers, you know. I'll put that out there. But as a kid, man, that shit was so tight. I never heard anything like that.
Unreal.
For real.
And
It was for me. It was for me as a 6-7-year-old. That they was specifically for me, man. I felt attached to crisscross.
Yeah, you missed the bus.
Yo, hey, shout out to crisscross.
Huge shout out, man.
Because they birthed the creative genius right here. You feel me?
Seriously.
Yo, so second grade you started. When did it really become, like, let's take it to the gully and fast forward. Like, when did it really become something that you truly felt that you could take? Like, what was that moment when, like, you were still probably in junior high school. When was that moment that you were like, no, fuck it, I'm gonna do this shit?
It got a little bit more serious in junior high.
Okay.
It was probably like 7th, 8th grade, and I did this talent show in Inglewood. At what was the spot called? It's called the Current Affair.
Word.
So if you ever driving on Manchester, you see the warehouse shoe sale near Inglewood High School. That's where the old Current Affair used to be.
Wow.
So I did a talent show there with this cat that lived on my block, and we won second place. And my mom came to the talent show and everything. And, you know, my uncle was there, a few of my family members.
Word.
But the fact that they were all there and then we won, I was like, oh, shit, I'm really about to do this. I'm really about to do it. And then in high school, you know, I met up with more artists, more producers. I met Jonas there, and I met his uncle, Ant. And Ant had a studio. So Ant, you know, brought us into our first studio experience. We were off at 81st and 5th in the Avs.
How old were y'all then?
We were like 15. I was, 15.
So it's like freshman year?
Sophomore.
Oh, sophomore.
Were you a year older than Jonas?
We're the same age, but he was a year behind me.
Got you.
Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah, so 15 years old, 81st and 5th in the Avs. I got my first recording experience. That's
what was that like?
I was just excited, man. I was like, damn, I actually get to hear myself almost professionally.
Yeah.
You know, because like everything up to that point was on karaoke machines.
Yeah.
And just off of 2 radios.
Yeah.
So like that was my real first
Who was
experience.
doing the beats at the time? Like,
Unjust.
oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay. So he had the
producing.
studio and the beats.
Yeah.
You just let's rock it.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this: like, being that the rapping was in your blood since the second grade, when you got into the studio for the first time, did you have a moment of like, what the fuck am I doing? Or were you just like so amped that you were like, let's get this?
I was kind of amped. But I definitely was a little, not scared, but I was like, oh shit, I really have to do this now. I really got to like try to, you know, get a good takedown and, you know, I guess really understand the structure of making a song.
Did you understand that going in, or was it something that kind of built over time?
I did understand it going in because living on Queen Street, I lived off on 517 West Queen Street. So 523 and 517 is the same building.
Yep.
And in the 523 building, there was this producer named Eddie.
Okay.
You know, he was an old school cat. He used to dress like he was from Parliament and shit. And he used to drive like a 300Z. And every day when I get home from school, he'd be making beats in his house. And they'd be like old school shit. You know, like, I wish he would make some new shit that I could rock on. But he was always making these old school beats. And I was like, you know, I know he had a whole bunch of gear in his apartment.
Yeah.
And I know my mom wouldn't let me go up there, but I was like, yo, Eddie, I could rap. He was like, really? He's like, rap for me. And I rap for him. He's like, okay, that's good, that's good.
Oh,
I need you to understand bar structure. I need you to take all this shit and make it 16. So a bar is a line right here, and you know the second bar. So he told me.
Shout out to Eddie, yo.
Yeah, R.I.P.
Word.
Yeah, he had like a heart attack.
Did
you know?
he really?
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Eddie.
Yeah, rest in peace, man. He was a fly old cat, man. And he taught me bar structure. And he never gave me no beats, but you know, that's definitely
I was about to spit my drink up right now. Yeah. Shout out to Eddie. Didn't give me nothing though, but still.
Hey, Hey, but he taught me. He taught me
Word.
how to
Eddie,
put a song.
Never gave me beats.
Hey, but yeah, he taught me that. So, having that knowledge, I kind of applied it into my first real experience with Ant. So I was able to put my verses together in 16s, put the hook together. And, most of the first songs were like 2 verses and a hook or whatever.
Yeah.
So, I applied it and I got my first 2 songs recorded in 1 weekend. Really? Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What were they called? You could
One was
spit the first bar.
I don't even remember the bars.
And the chorus, please.
I know the first song was like Skills, Skil. I even spelled skills wrong, but it sounded tight. I didn't give a fuck. It was like Skills, Skils for reals, yo. It's some whack shit. But it was like my first shit.
Hell yeah.
So,
Word.
and then the
do you
second
still
song,
do you still have that recording?
I don't. Well, I might have it at my mom's house, maybe. But I know I personally don't have it.
We may need to dig in the crates for that one.
Yeah.
That'd be some crazy shit
That'd be
right
really
there.
crazy.
Damn, I need that actually for some skits on the
That'd
album.
be insane, bro.
Damn.
That would be
Dude,
really,
you should you should
Ant
find
might
it.
have it though.
Really?
He might have
You
it.
should find it and release it on a cassette
Damn.
That would be
with a little download code, just so people, but just brand it on the cassette. Put it with like one of your new songs, and then as like a B-side.
Holy shit.
But what's crazy, I don't know, I'll be like weary if people will even appreciate it. Like, I personally
They're like,
think
hey
it's-
man, why is your little brother rapping on this?
my voice was so high pitched. I had like a higher voice and shit. I sound like Q-Tip or Magoo at the time.
That's so tight.
It was hilarious.
That's so tight. Shout out to
Hey.
Magoo, though.
Shout out to Magoo. Shout
Magoo
out.
was one of the realest, though, bro. His voice was so dope to
Man,
me.
that-
I ain't gonna say he was the realest, bro. I ain't gonna say that.
Okay, he definitely wasn't the realest. When I say the realest, this guy, I feel you. I feel you.
He has
Hey, hold on. Thurz brought the shotgun out and he blasted off.
No,
I feel it.
Magoo is definitely not in the top 3, Anush. Just to let you know.
But Magoo's voice was unfucking believable.
Unbelievable.
he had a cool voice. He had a cool
Unbelievable.
voice.
Him
I
and
just didn't know what the fuck he was talking about most of
Yeah,
the time.
I feel you. I respect that. I respect that. But yo, so
Bird. Bird is the word.
That song, but that song was
It was a hit. It was a hit. It
still,
was a hit.
still is.
yeah,
Still is.
still.
Play it at any time. People
True.
are gonna get down.
straight up.
I can't,
Very hard
I
to
can't-
do.
I can't
Straight
hate,
up.
but I just don't know what the fuck he was talking about.
So you were 15. You
Yeah.
got your first recording experience. How did you and I come about? How did you and Jonas like form y'all's bond? Was there something before that?
So, all right, when I was 15, so when I was recording with Ant, we ended up starting a crew. It's
Okay.
called the Rapture Camp. You
Word.
know, obviously, Ant was the head of it because he was the producer. He is providing the studio and all that. So he was the lead. And then there was
the Easy E, all right.
yeah. Well, like, obviously more rap ability than Easy. Not to knock Easy. Easy's awesome.
Word.
But like, I wasn't Ice Cubing for Easy, So Ant was the leader. Then we had Ablaze. Ablaze was my homegirl from high school as well. Nicole Jackson. I named her Ablaze.
Nice.
And I just thought she had
Damn, you be throwing the nicknames out there.
Yeah,
huh?
I
You
do,
just
I
have-
do,
You just have
I
that
do.
vision then, huh? I
Hey,
feel you.
see? I got the eye. I got the eye.
You do.
He's got to make a
do.
Thurz generator. a Thurz name generator.
Yo. Hey.
Thurz
That's a
generator.
good idea,
Thurz
man.
name
Bro.
generator.
But shout out to that nickname because it's kept me fat for all these years. I respect that. Thank you. But back to Blaze.
The Thurz nickname generator.
So we had Ablaze. We had Jonas or Jonas, however you call him. I call him Jonas. That's how I met him.
So from now on, I'm saying Jonas.
Yeah, I call him Jonas.
Jonas.
Mama call him Jonas. I'm going to call him Jonas.
Word.
We had Mike Pye. There was Ray, or a.k.a. Mundo. There was, I know you heard of Jock. He's on like YouTube with all the shoes.
Okay.
He used to go by Cuddy or KU.
Okay.
He was part of the crew.
Damn,
And,
y'all had a big
it
fucking
was a big ass
bro.
crew of people. Though. It was like, a lot of older cats kind of showing us the ropes of
Got
how
it.
Yeah.
I guess we think this rap world is supposed to work. But yeah, it was like a big crew of us. And then, but it was mainly 4 that were consistently working and
Got it.
recording. And that was me, Ablaze, Jonas, and Unjust or A-Dot.
Word.
So we were a 4-man crew, mainly a 4-man crew, but we had like a lot of
Yeah.
homies and shit. And we did our thing throughout high school.
Okay.
I got to LMU, and I started throwing a lot of parties, you know, and
it's wild because just to like interject here, Chris Focus was here probably like 6-7 months ago, and you know me, bro. I'm that motherfucker that like would be like, look, bro, like we have a natural respect for one another. We've known each other for so damn long, but like, what's your story? Like, let's just get like, I have a tendency to go deep.
What's your story, bro?
You know what I mean? What is your story, bro? Talk to me, the Persian guy.
Talk to Uncle Noosh.
No, but he brought up the fact that like y'all were throwing these wild parties.
oh yeah,
In college.
yeah, dude. Yeah, flip side.
Where'd you throw the parties? You had an apartment? Or?
Yeah, we had an apartment on campus, and we also had the auditorium. So like me and Chris, we always collaborate and throw hip hop shows. You know, I was like doing most of the curation, and he was backing me up and helping me with some of the artists. But like, yeah, we were a team, man. Me and Focus.
He has an incredible fucking spirit, by the way.
Oh, he's an awesome dude,
Like
man.
he is such a shining light, bro. Like on some trail shit.
And one of the flyest guys I know.
Yeah.
You know, he could dress it up. So yeah, me and Focus, Chris Focus, throwing all these parties from the dorms to St. Rob's Auditorium. Like these were dances, and then these were concerts. These were everything, like crazy ass dorm parties. And with doing like the hip hop shows, I kind of just started gauging response from the audience. You know what I mean? Like, I'd be like, I'd figure out who they were really feeling, and that would kind of give me an idea of how to evolve myself. So, you know, I brought Rapture Camp up there, and I noticed, you know, me and Jonas were getting a lot of love from all the like the ladies on campus and all that, and they weren't as receptive to everyone else. So that kind of like sparked the idea. I was like, damn, maybe me and you should like just do a duo thing or something. You know, I don't think everybody would trip. Let's just try it. We kind of have a similar lifestyle.
Yep.
You know, we like the, you know, similar fashion. So I thought it was best to maybe like, you know, do our thing.
Okay.
So that's how you and I started when I was at LMU.
Word.
Yeah.
Was it an issue when y'all broke it down like that, or did it like?
Yeah, how the
it
other
kinda-
guy's like, oh,
You know what?
yeah, I'm the star. I'm the star.
I gotta say, it wasn't just immediate like that.
Okay.
It kind of just happened more organically, actually.
Okay.
Like we both recognized the same thing,
Word.
and we just started hanging out duo wise more and more
Word.
and more.
Yeah.
Started recording, and it was like, fuck it, let's do it. Let's just do a project. That's how we did Fried Chicken and Watermelon.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. My mind is blown. You feel me? I wish y'all could see my face right now. And Joe's telling me to come to the mic.
No,
I'm
just saying,
I'm such a rookie right now. No, but
Get
so
up
y'all
on
did Fried Chicken and Watermelon. How did that come about? Who did y'all have on that? What came to y'all from that experience?
So, so at this time we were doing Fried Chicken and Watermelon. Still curating all the shows and all that.
So you're doing this kind of like on the side.
Yeah. So all right. So this is what I was doing, right? I got to rewind the story a little bit too.
Let's do it.
So my senior year of high school, still doing the Rapture Camp thing, and I want to learn more about the industry. So I signed up for an internship at Rhino Entertainment. They're like a subdivision of Warner Music Group. So I worked under Kamika Freeman. She used to be at Priority Records. She was my project manager. So she gave me different assignments, and you know I was handling the Fleetwood Mac catalog.
Wow.
And and a few other different artists. Rakim.
And this is in marketing?
Yeah, this is like a marketing internship.
Yep.
And I'm learning about press kits and just learning how to research artists. I'm learning what different markets apply to different artists' music and all that. So, you know, that kind of just gave me knowledge and the whole idea of how to gauge audiences or whatever. So when I start seeing what
It puts a bug in your mind.
Yeah, it's planted the seed.
Got it.
So, you know, when I start seeing the response at shows, that's what kind of progressed me to see the duo kind of thing happening.
Got it.
And at LMU, while I'm doing these shows, I did more internships. Started interning at Capitol Records. And I was in the marketing department. I was in the promo department.
These sirens.
Hold on. These natural sirens mean something really important is going on around here.
Well, yeah, I was in A&R. Wendy Goldstein was the main A&R over there.
How long were you over there for? Was it just that?
Just the whole
period?
summer.
Like
the whole summer.
Oh, summer. Cool.
Yeah, summer internship. I could have kept going, but I was like, let me do something else.
And you studied finance while at
Yeah,
LMU.
business finance, and I was a marketing minor.
Was there a reason you chose finance?
Because I felt like marketing was pretty self-explanatory.
Got you.
So I just did finance because I figured if I really needed a job, there might be something more available in that department.
Yeah.
And so doing that internship just kind of furthered along the whole idea of marketing. And you and I started happening. And then at that time, we were hanging out with the homies Pat.
What year, for those that don't know, what year was it that Fried Chicken and Watermelon came out?
That came out in 2007. So this is actually after my college, college.
Wow.
Yeah. So we were doing like songs during the process and all that, but it happened after I graduated. But in college, we're hanging out with a whole bunch of folks, and we're hanging out with Pac Div a lot. Those are our homeboys.
Really?
And Swift D. So we would be back and forth to Palmdale. Jonas lived in Palmdale. He moved from Inglewood to Palmdale. We would hang out and play basketball with Swift and Pac Div, and they had dope ass beats. Swift was like a big.
Swift is a monster.
He's a monster. He's a big Dilla head, and he just knew how to have those big ass drums and all that shit. And we loved that shit. We weren't really getting all that in Rapture Camp, so it's like,
right. So it made sense.
Y'all had to gravitate towards where it was at.
We wanted the dope beats.
Yeah.
So we would drive out to Swift's house. His house was like a church too. His dad was a pastor. His late father, and we would be in that house with no AC.
I love that. How many people don't have AC like when you're in your like early 20s?
Man.
Like I feel like AC is just like, no, you're not old enough for that yet.
But it was so hot. It was so hot in Palmdale. I was like, why don't you have AC?
The moment Thurz started saying no AC, I started sweating right now. And naturally, I'm a fat ass, so I'm sweating, bro.
It's just like you surround yourself with fans blowing hot air at you. It's terrible.
Yeah. But yeah, so we got our first, I guess, batch of beats as a duo from Swift.
Really?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Because Swift thought we was dope, And it was like, fuck it, man. Let's do it. So Swift did like 4 records on Fried Chicken Watermelon. He did Do With Me. He did Let Me Be. He did, what else? I can't remember the songs right now. Fuck, I can't remember the other songs.
No worries.
Yeah. But he gave us our first batch.
That's insane, bro.
Yeah.
So y'all put, when did Tomas Whitmore come into the picture?
Tomas, during Fried Chicken Watermelon. Because I went to school with Tomas. We actually met on an intramural basketball court.
No, you didn't.
Yeah.
How was his game though?
Tomas could ball.
Really?
But at this time, I was in really good shape. And we played his team in the intramural championship, and he hates when I tell this story.
What's up, Tomas? It's about to be told right now. We'll get you on to tell your side of the story, but for now, Thurz is getting it in.
I must have had 20 points that game.
Ducats on buckets on ducats.
Tomas was doing his thing, I tell you, he has game. But he had a layup for the last shot of the game.
He's about to get iced right now.
Hey, I must have flew from from the free throw line. And I bashed his lap. Well, I bashed his layup on the backboard. Blah!
You channeled your inner Rodman and Jordan at the same time.
Yes. I smashed his layup against the backboard. I know he's here. I know he feels
He's
me
feeling this right now. He actually cringed right now, and we can't even tell. He dropped the drink that he had in his hand, and he looked up in the sky and asked why.
So, and then he tried to act like he was injured because he was embarrassed.
Oh my God.
Oh, that's the worst. That's really the worst. That's the worst. So I was like,
pulled the Vladdy on you? He pulled the Vladdy on you?
He tried to act like his ankle was hurt. I was like, yo, you not hurt? And then we won the game. But that was our first, that was our first interaction. And then he hit me up on Facebook, because we had fried chicken and watermelon now.
Yeah.
And he got access to it, and he wanted to shoot a video for us. So, I didn't even know he was a director. He actually never directed before.
Really?
He actually never directed before, but he kind of gave me the feeling that he had been working, for a while. So
what was it? What was it about that feeling? Because it's like, what's crazy is like in this game that like at the end of the day, anybody that's doing it now has been nobody at some point in time, right? But there's such a quality about passion, right? Especially when you're young, because I feel like, you guys were on your path, even though, you didn't know what the future held, but your guys' yearning for wanting to really create and make an impact, naturally the energy of the world is going to be in your favor.
Yeah.
Right. So what was it about him and the way that, he portrayed his craft that had you gravitate towards it and also be like, well, let's go then?
Well, he low-key lied to me.
He's like, you see this? You see this camera store?
Yo, he got swatted. He did the body, and then he lied to him over. I feel you.
He told me, he sent me references of these Nike commercials, and then he was like, "Yo, I'm working on some stuff like this, and I've been doing this, and I've done this with Nike." And I was like, "Oh, okay, this is pretty cool." He was like, "I'd love to work with you guys. I'd love to shoot your first video." I'm like, "All right, fuck it, let's do it."
Word.
And we shot Cream.
Awesome. Awesome.
You know what? And I was like blown away. He had like a dope team,
bro.
And that was his first video.
That's awesome.
And we fucking did Cream, dog. And shout out to Dame Taylor because he produced that beat.
That's amazing.
And
Nice. What's up, Dame?
and we followed it up with Beautiful Day.
Yo, Beautiful Day was a monumental
Oh man,
video for y'all.
definitely, dude.
What was that like? Like, so that was Tomas's second video.
Yeah.
Right? That was y'all's second video.
That was actually, was that our second or third? Yeah, it was our second video. Yeah.
Beautiful Day was so well received.
Yeah.
That was such a classic video. What was that like for y'all being so green? Like, I feel like that video like sparked like a wildfire.
It did, dude.
And who came up with the concept?
Tomas, man.
Oh, okay. Very cool.
Came with the concept, very reminiscent of the Far Side a little bit. And we were just doing experiments just to
Did you have a feeling that it was going to be like that? Or was it something that hit you out of nowhere? Like, wow, we did it.
I kind of didn't know exactly what to expect. I know I had an idea,
Okay.
just through the test that we were doing. And after the test, I saw what it was going to be.
Okay.
And then when we executed it, I was like, damn, this is tight. This came together.
Yep.
There were just a lot of elements that weren't planned, like the lowrider in the beginning.
Really?
Yeah, the dude just was like trying to support, and he just pulled his car up.
Oh, wow.
And just the host, a lot of folks in the city came out, man, and people were just like lined up.
That's
on
incredible.
81st.
How'd that make you feel?
Man,
Did it feel real then? Like was that moment for you, or had it always felt real?
The most real that it felt was when we did the MTV taping.
Mm-hmm.
For your
the
MTV
VMAs.
raps?
For the VMAs.
Wow.
That performance, at the Roxy. That's the most real it felt. And then seeing that on TV, like on Demand, what do you call it? Something Demand. I guess when you play
On
something-
Demand?
On Demand. Seeing like our performance on Demand, and then
Crazy.
everybody in the city hitting us up like, yo. And then the actual voting process, like we fucking smashed the voting process. That's when I knew it was real. I was
Yeah.
like, damn, the world is paying attention.
How long was that after the video?
The video's what got us there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But how, was that just a few months?
I think like 8 months.
Okay, so it was
Yeah.
later, and so the
Y'all-
video happened,
Y'all won
and
the
that
award for what?
For best 2008 MTV breakout artist.
Got it.
Yeah.
so the video came out, and spread like wildfire.
Yeah.
At that point, so were people starting to come to you guys at that point? Did you see a shift in like your fan base? Did you see a shift in basically your career? Was that like the first major shift? Because since then, you had your following, you had your crowd, you had the people that supported you, but it's like, oh, there's a lot of people that I don't know that are coming towards us.
I have to say, I couldn't really gauge because we didn't really have an audience like that with Rapture Camp. This is like, with I guess Beautiful Day kind of exposed us to what our natural audience was.
Yeah. Because y'all put on for the city.
Yeah. Yeah, like nobody else did what we were doing at the time. And, you know, there was definitely a whole movement here. You know, you had like the cats like Blue and Pac Div and Jay Davey and all that. But like, you know, nobody did what we had did at that time. So it was like we were trendsetting.
Yeah, y'all really were.
Yeah, it was crazy.
That's
and then the turning point moment was really the VMA shooting.
Yeah.
That you're like, oh shit, like I'm on some professional shit right now.
Yeah,
where you actually feel like going from hey, we're just making songs, videos with our friends, with our fans, but now we're like, this is MTV and we just got nominated and about to win this award. Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah. It's a crazy experience, man. It was definitely dope.
Did y'all have management at that point, or did that come afterwards?
Well, we were rocking with Chris London for a while.
Got it.
I found Chris London on MySpace.
Really?
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
So he was the first person I found doing video blogs.
Okay.
So,
wow.
yeah.
Ahead of his time.
Yeah. So he was pretty much like embedding a video blog in these MySpace bulletins.
Bro, MySpace set off
it's
so many careers,
it's so
bro.
Crazy. Man, if you were in someone's MySpace top 8 or what was it?
Yeah.
What was it? Top. Yeah.
I took Tom off real quick.
No, that was a very important thing though.
Yeah, man, the top 8, and then just people like having your song as their profile song.
Unreal.
Like, it was this one hot chick. What was her name? I think she's from Chicago, but she put "Beautiful Day" as her profile song, and she was like a big deal. And I was like, damn, man, this shit is kind of crazy. Like, it's
how crazy is that for the second time? Because the fisticuffs were talking about how that set it off. Like the hot chicks on MySpace had the songs on.
During that time, what year was that? It was like 2008 or 9?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that was really the height of MySpace, where you had the music player.
Yeah.
You had all that stuff was like, it was like very, very gauged towards music.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy. Yeah. See, a lot of people don't know the effect that MySpace had.
Man, so MySpace is a huge platform, dude.
Huge.
Did he reach out to y'all, or did you reach out to him?
Who?
Chris London.
I reached out to him.
Okay.
Yeah. I reached
out to him. What was it about his vlogs that
I didn't know? I never met like a legit manager.
Word.
So I was like, damn, this dude seems legit. I like what he's talking about on these vlogs.
Yeah.
I knew he managed Aloe Black and Trek Life.
Yeah.
So I was like,
yo, Chris low key, bro. Shout out to Chris London, because he's truly I honestly consider him one of my first mentors in this game.
Sorry.
You know what I'm saying? Like Chris London is such an incredible spirit, and like the way that he rocks for his artists is unbelievable. You know what I'm saying? And he took me under his wing when our journey started.
Yeah.
And really, like, he will do whatever it takes for you.
True. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
He's
like,
loyal. He's smart. He's loyal.
He's smart. He's loyal. He didn't change a lot. So y'all had been rocking with Chris.
Yeah.
The video went bananas.
Yeah.
Y'all had the breakout artist of 2008 go down. Let's talk about after that. So it became real after that point.
Yeah.
Right? What was next for y'all? Like, did it change for y'all? Like, were you, because look, I always look at you as the Sergeant General of the group, right?
Right.
You were always really, really involved with not only the business of it and the creative integrity of it, but like you wanted to make sure that you were running a tight ship.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So when that happened, like, and that mentally switched for y'all, did it did it become something different for you then, or was it like, let's just keep rolling?
I wanted it to keep rolling. I wanted the music to get better.
Okay.
I just wanted everything to increase. And after all the MTV stuff is when we started recording the next project, I Love Supreme.
Classic. Classic.
No, it definitely struck a lot of nerves with, you know, the new audience that we were building.
Yeah.
So
Tell us about that.
So it's like all produced by Road Boulevard. I was a little hesitant as to having one project produced by one producer
Why?
because I saw the response that Beautiful Day had. I was like, does this make sense to go this route when Diabolic kind of gave us something that people are gravitating to? Because Diabolic did, you know, Beautiful Day, did Lap Dance on that project, and Castlevania for us. That was on like a mixtape, but we just had a good
that joint
sound.
was wild, bro.
Yeah, we had a good sound.
He put those Nintendo samples in, did he not?
Dope.
Yeah. So I was a little hesitant to do in this project.
What made you give in? Because like, you don't strike me as a cat to bite their tongue for long, right?
Yeah.
So what was it that made you kind of like, I guess, go with the flow at that point?
I think all right, so I went with the flow. A lot of the times it was just me and Ro in the studio because Jonas would be in Palmdale.
Okay.
So there'll be certain times on the weekends we'd all be in studio together. And some of the songs were coming out really cool. And during the week, sometimes me and Ro would meet up at his mom's house in Sun Valley. And, you know, songs just kept, you know, getting a little bit better and better. And I guess what made me stick with it was the uniqueness of the sound. I felt like it didn't sound like anything else.
Okay.
And it was there's a lot of synergy between the records, and I felt like it was sonically a unison sound throughout the project. So I let it rock. And
did you have, like, looking back at it, like, do you have any qualms with that? Or
I
was
do.
That, okay.
I do. How would I say it? Some of the songs I still don't even rock with. Like,
Okay.
I just didn't think some of the songs were tight.
Okay.
But like,
did you vocalize that then?
I wasn't.
Or was it kind of like more like, okay, we're going? And how is that for an artist, right?
It was like I didn't want it to be the Thurz show. I was trying to do a group project. So I was like, all right, if nobody else is speaking up about this yet, let me just kind of like see if everybody else is rocking. You know, let me just, you know, if this is a group thing, I'll be reserved on certain things.
Okay.
You know? And as long as, you know, I can have my input on certain records, cool. You know, so I let it rock. And, you know, everybody kind of had their input. So I was cool. I did a lot of songwriting on there, but like some songs I would have left off.
Okay.
I would have left off, yeah.
Okay. And do you feel like, looking back at it, like, if you were to do it differently, right, then, would you be more vocal? Or did you bottling that up affect you in any way?
Yeah.
Because I feel like it's so crazy working with groups, and Joe can attest to this, like being in the New Kingdom. But it's hard to be that guy, right? Like, it's crazy because last night I went to the studio with this cat Marky Basie that I really fuck with, right? Yeah. He, like, and me being in this game, like, I understand too many cooks in the kitchen and artistic integrity and all that.
Yeah.
He was working on a song that was kind of birthed from a discussion that we had, and he had a thought and he went and recorded it, and he had this like ad lib to it that was insane when he first recorded it.
Yeah.
And I went in and they were finishing that record.
Sorry.
Right? And it just changed. And I was bugging myself about it, like, do I be that asshole and tell these guys like, yo, what the fuck happened to that?
Yeah.
Because I don't want to step on anybody's toes, and they're young in the game, so like I knew that if I said something, like, his producers would maybe have a feeling about it. Yeah. But it got to the point with me where I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna bring this up. Like, at the end of the day, it's y'all's choice.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be able to live with myself had I kept it silent.
Yeah.
So I spoke on it, and then that sparked, and like they did what they did.
Yeah.
And they added that kind of essence. It wasn't because of me, but like, it's crazy because knowing that feeling of like when you keep your mouth shut and you have something to say, even if it's for the good of the group, like it still eats at you. Like it's not resentment, but it's like it eats at you because like,
bro.
Is it?
It is resentment.
Okay.
I mean, the thing is like you have to pick your battles. You know, that's the thing. Obviously, when you're in a group, like you said, it can't be the Thurz show. You have to pick your battles, and I think it's about the people you work with. That if you don't feel free enough to express how you feel, that's not a problem with. I don't think it's a problem with the songs or like having an opinion about the song. It's really about how other people are going to react to your opinion. So if you think these people that you're working with are going to like have a negative effect or like, feel like, because you're not coming from a Thurz show place. You're being like, I actually just don't really like this song. It's actually objective, right?
Yeah.
And it's subjective too. It's like, okay, that's cool. I like, the other person can be like, I like it. You're like, cool.
Yeah.
But when you keep your mouth shut, I think that's a product of not wanting to start any like friction.
Yeah.
And that's only
But friction naturally happens, does it not?
Yeah, no, it's fine to have friction, but I think it's like it depends because it's like sometimes is it that real to really say something and then spark something that could actually be very detrimental to the project overall? Is it really worth that? Or is it worth keeping your mouth shut? I don't know. Like whatever, because that builds up resentment too.
Okay.
That really does happen.
So was it resentment for you? Or was it like, what was that feeling like?
At the time, recording it, I wouldn't say it was resentment. It was really, as far as not speaking up.
Yeah.
I just wanted shit to keep. I just wanted people to keep working. I didn't want there to be. Yeah, I didn't want there to be any resentment involved. I didn't want that element. I wanted everything just to be organic and work out to the best.
Okay.
So I let it keep going. And luckily people fucked with it. When it came out, we dropped it on our website. Midnight or some shit like that. I forgot what date. And Twitter went crazy, and it was cool. It was dope.
Word.
It was a good response.
Good, yeah.
And what else? This is like 2009.
Let me ask you this: how does it feel with that project getting those types of like rave responses?
Yeah.
But you also, as a creator, feeling that there were certain parts of it that didn't hold the integrity that you may have wanted. Mm-hmm. How does that feel for an artist? Because I feel like a lot of us on the outside don't get to really like understand that intimate perspective. Yeah. And it's not a matter of like, oh man, he's bugging or this, that, and the other. But like at the end of the day, bro, like creatives are vulnerable. Like your babies are going out there. Your word is representing your vision, right? So you naturally want whatever you put into the ether to fully represent yourself.
Dude, yeah, it sucks when people don't like your music.
But what about them liking your music when you don't? Like on some like Nirvana shit.
I was just weary of some of the beats, man.
Okay.
And like I didn't know if some of the beats were all the way to my liking, and some of the songs I felt like it was it's supposed to evolve.
Yeah.
So that was cool. There was evolution.
Okay.
But it just wasn't evolving the way I imagined.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I got uncomfortable with it a little bit, but I couldn't halt the process because there's momentum.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's like, the more music at that time was the more beneficial for us.
So you kind of like bit the bullet.
Yeah, I had to.
And that's actually an interesting topic, is that when you feel like, so one of the hardest things to do as a musician or artist is create momentum. One of the hardest things.
Yeah, truly.
Very much developed on content, but also engaging and retaining people and then giving them what they want constantly. Yeah. Especially in music.
It's a burden, bro.
When I guess we could even go back to the post VMAs, and now you're recording new music, putting new stuff out. Yeah. Were you conscious of like, all right, we need the iron's hot right now. We need to keep this moving and as best as possible, even if I have to sacrifice the stuff I like for the sake, because you know how important that is.
I felt like I was conscious of that at the time. I think I was always conscious of that principle, like kind of like striking when iron's hot.
Yep.
I was always conscious of that. And, after being forced to put out 2.0, because there was
you were forced to put out 2.0.
Because there was no new content. And it's like, Chris understood this concept as well, that we had to keep putting out music.
So let me ask you.
Well, I'm not gonna say we were forced.
Okay.
I'm not gonna say we were forced. But
so
if you don't,
hold on.
You don't.
So there was no new content. Why?
There was no new content because, I would be in the studio trying to get everybody in the studio, trying to get Jonas in the studio. And, we were recording songs here and there, but there wasn't a constant effort to like keep going.
Really?
There was
from your view, what was it? Like that had to have been hard for you.
I guess, okay, so after we put out Love Supreme, we got this green label situation.
Okay.
And the green label situation, we did Land of the Kings.
Mm-hmm.
And, Ro produced that. The original version was this electronic version.
Okay.
I immediately when I heard it, I wrote the chorus.
Word.
To, the sunshine don't go away, all that stuff. And it's like, I want kids singing this shit. So let's do all that.
And to have those kids singing it was fucking incredible.
Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah. So, Green Label got more involved. They wanted to beef up the production, get live musicians involved. And I was all for it. I'm like, yeah, let's do that.
Is that where Tamara and them came in?
No, okay. Not yet. We'll get to them.
Okay. I jumped the gun, y'all.
It was right after that, though.
Got it.
Right after that. We linked up with Green Label. We were recording in Eagle Rock. And Jay Kern, he's over at Red Bull now. It's crazy, small world. But he was like our A&R, I guess, that was overseeing that aspect of our project. So he was bringing in musicians, bringing in pianists, bringing in horn players. And, we were beefing up the record. I wanted to beef up the drums too, but we were hitting like this, I guess, going head on with Ro's vision.
Okay.
And it's like, I guess, because
the artist producer.
It's a you and I thing.
Yeah.
And
right.
like, I guess Ro Boulevard's name is attached as the producer.
Yeah.
And I'm like, everybody saw the vision for beefing up the drums and just going head on with him. It was just hard working with Ro at that time too. He almost fucked over that situation.
Really?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Really?
Definitely.
Oh.
Definitely. He was like kind of arguing, saying, I don't like this. I don't want this. It's taking away from the integrity. And I feel him. He's an artist. But like,
But this is a great point. You have an opportunity, man.
Yeah.
We know how valuable opportunities are, how valuable momentum is. Like this shit drives me crazy, dude. There's a very, very small window of how you take advantage of the opportunities.
Yeah.
And this very small window makes or breaks a lot of fucking bands and
True
artists.
Story, bro.
A lot. Your timing and the way you seize that opportunity. It sounds like cliche or whatever, like, oh my God, seize that. No.
Yeah.
In a moment like this, it's like, yeah, what if it did go the other way? What if he actually did fuck that up for you guys?
Yeah.
That's so
Think
true,
about
bro.
how that one course of action would have probably affected a lot of things to follow.
Yeah.
Really important for a lot of we talk about that, how you balance those opportunities that come. We say all the time, it's like, as an artist, you guys are fighting for opportunities, right? You're like, what's the next one? I got to do this. Got to do a show. Got to release this album. Got to do this press. Got like everything, the videos. You're trying to find opportunities, and then like the right ones start to come.
Yeah.
You don't hit it right. It can be highly detrimental.
Yeah, man.
We saw it all the time in New Kingdom, all the time.
Yeah, it was very frustrating at that time, man. It's like you're letting somebody almost dictate an opportunity that can like propel your career.
Yep.
And the fact that they weren't looking at it at that time, and it's not like you can vouch for different perspectives, but as the independent artist that wants to blow up and wants to like have everybody eat, It's like, damn, dude, do you have any hit records? Are you you're still living with your mom? Do you have your own house?
Very
You
true.
know, like, come
And
on, dog.
You haven't done it
And
yet to like
so-
know what it is.
Yeah.
And what's crazy is that where you guys are at right now with actually all the like quote unquote success you've had up until this point, you still haven't made it though.
Yeah, we still not making money like that.
Right,
you
right.
know? Like,
It's like the elements are there,
Yeah.
but there's like a fine line from when you cross over. Mac and Brian were talking about it.
Yeah.
When you can work really, really hard and stay right at that, but then at that point, but then when you cross over, it's a huge shift.
yeah.
But you're not there yet. You know?
Yeah.
At that point, like, hey, we're not even there yet. We need to make this work. We need to make these opportunities work.
So let me ask you, so did this become a time where you were actually fighting for what you thought about the drums, or were you?
I mean, the drums never came to how I wanted them to be.
Okay.
If you listen to Land of the Kings right now, it does not bang.
Those drums fucking suck. Dog.
Drums do fucking suck on that song. I like the song. The song is awesome.
But were you fighting for the drums?
I definitely wanted it to bang more.
So were you? So this is an interesting question because Chris Lennon was managing you guys and Row Boulevard at the same time. Were you speaking with Row about this? Were you also talking to Chris about like, yo, what the fuck is going on with this shit? Like, who do we talk to? Like, how do you? Because that divide becomes interesting.
So Ro's main argument was that he actually didn't like any of the instrumentation. He actually didn't like any of the instrumentation.
So what exactly don't you like? All of it. I hate it all.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And me and Jonas, we loved it. We liked the instrumentation, and I wanted the drums to bang. So the median, or I guess the compromise, was, leaving it as is.
Bro.
The sacrifice is leaving the record as is with the instrumentation, but no enhancement of the drums.
So that's another time that you just cringed at that fact.
Yeah.
And on top of that, at this time there was like, was this the time where there started to be like a disconnect between you and Jonas?
Yeah, definitely. Because all right, the disconnect started. Yeah, the disconnect was definitely present, but like we were still hanging out.
Okay.
Still boys and all that. Me, him, and Jeff, we were hanging out tough at this time, and I went and we recorded a demo verse to the electronic version. Then when we got in to do all the instrumentation, we re-recorded the verses.
Okay.
There was an issue with Jonas's original verse on Land of the Kings.
Which was what?
I don't want to say. I'd say we wanted it to be stronger.
Okay.
Because I knew he can do better.
Yeah.
And there was a fight to get him to re-record his verse.
Okay.
And like Chris felt the same way, So we got him to re-record it because the first verse was kind of bad, like as far as the content, lyrical content, and that's not even like, how do I want to say it? Like it's the lyrical content. I'm not saying it had to be like some crazy
blow
shit.
your mind type shit.
Not at all. It just
up to his standards as you knew it.
Yeah,
Right.
I just thought it could be better.
Right.
Yeah.
And he initially didn't want to meet that.
Okay.
So we kind of had to motivate him to get into that groove.
This is like, mind you, and I interject here because this is a beautiful depiction of the battles that groups have.
Yeah.
Because you're taking singular individual artists and you're putting them together, and really the only way groups really work, like y'all had a group of two. Imagine like New Kingdom, like y'all were a group of many, but it's like, yes, there are compromises, but at the same time it becomes a super give and take, but there needs to be a level in which both parties or every party feels that is being met.
It's literally a relationship, dude. It is like it's very, very similar. It's identical to a relationship.
Yeah, man.
It's crazy.
And like what's crazy, hindsight, this forecasted everything. Like this situation with Green Label forecasted the demise of that relationship. Of that artist relationship.
That's a wild foreshadowing, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's crazy that it hit on all angles there.
Yeah.
Like the staple producer that like I feel like, you know, after Fried Chicken and Watermelon and when The Love Supreme came out, like everybody knew, all right, word, You and I is being produced by Road Boulevard. These motherfuckers have this entity here.
Yeah.
When at the time, when things are steaming and rolling, nobody knows that this friction and this creative block is happening, and it's like a volcano ready to erupt.
Yeah.
So y'all had this issue where, you know, let me ask you, was your daughter born at this time?
My daughter was born in 2007, so right after Fried Chicken Watermelon.
Word.
Right before Fried Chicken
Word.
Watermelon. Actually,
this
she was
is
born in May. We dropped it in June of 2007.
You know,
so at this point you have a daughter.
Yeah, I have a daughter.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
You know what's crazy?
Sorry, go on.
No, you know what's crazy is that, like, I never spoke this aloud, but I always had this in the back of my mind because I know what it's so wild for like this to be put out into perspective and understand, like, I know a lot of what went on, but the beauty of this podcast setting is that I want to ask these questions because I want to hear your view, because at that time, even when I was working with y'all.
Wait, sorry to interrupt. When did you come on board with them? Where were you at this time?
I came on board with them in
2009, right?
2000, like, so we met, and I spoke of this. I met y'all for the first time at CBG 123 with Shakib.
Okay.
Y'all performed with Rob Roy. It was a Cottrell's event.
Yep.
Yeah.
Shakib, I was interning at this film company.
Okay.
Me and Shakib was starting Loud Dreams.
Yeah.
We went out there, we vibed out,
Yep.
and like throughout that summer, we'd see each other. Like, we saw each other at the Roosevelt. We saw each other at motherfucking Hyde back in the day when it was a shoebox. And like, there was just like really good energy. And we started coming by to True Studios and all these different things. But
And that was all after this recording.
yeah, this was after this. Yeah, for sure.
So you guys are still doing
But
okay,
even
though.
in that time, it's crazy to look back, like in hindsight, is that, you know, it's wild for me to hear this because it all makes sense. Like, it made sense then, but there's such a pure view about hearing the actual story because I always saw, like, the wild shit for me in that relationship, and which is like, I feel like is a testament to, even though the inevitable happened, right? Is that I'm still as close with Thurz as I am with Jonas, right? And even in that relationship, it was that I understood early that there was no sides to be taken, right? In that relationship, I was a lot closer to Jonas because, like, me and him connected and he brought me in, right? But I respect the craft and I also respected the integrity, and like at my position there, like, I felt like I was truly a soldier on the front line, and I would do anything to just make it happen. You know what I'm saying? Which is why I felt like they saw that. It wasn't me trying to make them see that. It was just them naturally seeing that I was like hustling and bustling and doing it, which is why they as a group, you know, wanted to bring me on. But the tension I always saw, you know what I mean? And it's crazy to hear how it was bubbling from the onset, like the history that they had, and it was still bubbling on the onset. But, you know, I always looked at it this way, is that Jonas was wilding out. He gave so much to the group, but he was also wilding out. And Thurz was very meticulous, not only with his craft and his pen, but with which the way that he saw the operation running. Because let's be very honest, it's an operation.
100%.
If you want to make this shit work, if this shit is going to fucking be able to penetrate the spoils, the luxuries, and the fucking mirages that are thrown at you as things get bigger and bigger and bigger, it has to be a well-oiled machine. And cats need to know the grounding of where they came from to be able to keep the clarity of their minds along this road. Because if you break out and don't know yourself, you're going to fall victim to the mirage of your brand and who you are as an artist. and lose yourself as a human being. And I also knew and respected the fact that like Thurz operated and wanted this ship to operate as a well-oiled machine, and tirelessly and time again was fighting for that. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't reciprocated, right? But my position
definitely
at that
like
point,
different circumstances. Like looking back, my circumstances was different from Jonas's, and
you had a family to provide for.
I had
That's
my daughter.
Very, very different.
You know, I was working a job. I was like actually backing a lot of the UNI movement financially.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
What were you doing for work?
I was a stat analyst in the Pacific Palisades. So I got fired for doing all the UNI shit.
That's hilarious. See, a lot of people don't realize that like you're rocking shows at night.
You're super hot in the LA scene.
Super hot in the LA scene. Yeah. The internet is going wild.
Yeah.
And you're waking up and crunching numbers throughout the day.
Yeah.
And that is so real.
So real.
Oh my God. Even crazy. I forget even got to
a stat analyst.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That was the worst job. That job fucking
just doing
sucked.
Projections and budgeting for fourth quarter. And then,
I hated that job, man. Those fucking Republicans, man. they all voting for Trump right now, too.
For real.
What I was going to say, I forgot to mention, before we released The Left Supreme, we did Before There Was Love, the mixtape. So that was like a cool experience too. And that's why I even felt funny just releasing A Love Supreme with one producer, because we were working with a whole bunch of dope producers.
Yo, that puts it into such a different perspective. I feel you on that.
Yeah, you know? Like we had...
You're like, yo, we have all of LA here and we're closing this off?
Yeah. Like
for what?
Black Milk, you know what I mean? You have like... Shout out to the homie Pro Mike, you know? Like there's so many people that were like incredible producers, and I just didn't know if that was the right move to do that, you know. Luckily, it worked out. It worked out for what it was at the time. I felt like it could have been a bigger impact.
Let me ask you this: like, it worked out, but it worked out on its road to implosion.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Had I maybe stepped up and like spoke out, having a clear vision, but you can't have a vision until you experience.
You cannot. Absolutely. You know what I mean? And that's very critical.
Yeah.
Like. So many cats think that like they know what move is gonna get them there. They don't. Yeah. You understand me? Because, wow, this is one of those moments where y'all made a decision against your will.
Yeah.
It was succeeding, but it ended up being a detriment.
Yeah.
Right? Looking back, do you think, because naturally, like, let's be honest, like you can't account for the group aspect, yours and Jonas's relationship, right? But looking back, do you think you alienated these other producers, or do you think that it was just like the way that it went, or like what was that feel? Because y'all had successes. You guys were one of the groups that brought all of LA on. Yeah. Like from the onset, I'll be dead honest, bro. Like every show that we had in LA, it became something that y'all were fighting for to get these artists like the Schemes and the Kendricks, who was K-Dot at the time, on stage. Yeah. Like you guys really wanted LA on. It was a community.
Yeah, man. And like I don't want to say, yeah, man, that's definitely what I felt like should be happening, because I felt like people weren't embracing us.
Yeah.
You know, like
there was a lot of tension.
There was some embracing from like, you know, cats like Exhibit or whatever, and Bun B and some cool OGs out there, but there were certain artists and movements that weren't embracing you and I.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what, fuck all these people.
Yeah.
If I think you're dope, come rock with us, dude. That's why I grabbed on the Kendrick like that. I was like, yo, dog, I think you're really tight. Fuck with us.
Yeah.
You know, I brought him on stage.
Y'all had the platform.
Yeah, I brought him on stage at every show. We did the Bitch I Do This remix.
Yeah.
You know, we essentially put Kendrick on for that cool crowd in LA.
Yeah.
TDE didn't do that. They
Not
didn't
at
have,
that
they
time,
didn't, They didn't have access to that.
They didn't.
We brought them to that crowd. You know what I mean?
And that crowd was very big.
Yeah.
True story.
And you guys have probably one of the livest hip hop shows in LA.
Thank you, man.
No, seriously, that's not even like for complimental purposes.
Hands motherfucking down,
That's
bro.
just like what it was.
Yeah. Hands down.
Hands down. Everyone knew that. I mean, And, you know, we talk about the recordings here a lot and what goes on and what hits the internet. But you guys, the importance of your live show was really what took it to that next level.
For sure.
I mean, that's where the community came in. That's where the buzz came. That's where, oh shit, let's be a part of this UNI experience.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was something that crossed. You guys did what a lot of people can't do, which is you hit that gray area perfectly. You were crossover. You still remain very, very strong with the hip hop roots, but we're also able to hit an alternative crowd. You know, the entire spectrum. It was almost like not genre specific, even though it was hip hop, and even though it was very, very hip hop.
Yeah.
It still can cross the genres very easily.
It's crazy to bring it back to Thurz's internship after high school, because I feel like one of the greatest things that y'all did outside of being incredible performers is truly playing to the crowds.
Oh yeah.
Right. So your natural
And I gotta say, I
understanding.
gotta give a kudos to Pac Div.
Word.
Because, you know, they definitely helped inspire our live show.
Really?
They made our live show better.
Really?
I gotta say that too. Yeah.
Because I mean, let's be
Really? Talk about that.
Yeah, Pac Div was really dope. So this is probably what even started a rift between us and Pac Div.
Okay.
And this is like, you know, we weren't biting these guys, but they inspired us to have a liver show. You know, like I brought them to my school at LMU.
Okay.
And, you know, they would do like dance routines to old school songs. And
On
like,
some digital underground shit, or like what
like
was
just
it like?
they
like a skit kind of in the show.
Yeah, skit in the show, like
just something
dancing
fun.
to Soul for Real,
Yeah.
or like, you know, Candy Rain and shit.
There's something funny
some
and
Tevin
good.
Campbell shit. You know, it was dope. And I'm like, damn,
Word.
they're engaging with this crowd.
Yes.
You and we need to engage with the crowd on a bigger level. So like they inspired me to make this live show better, or just throw ideas.
That's incredible.
To make it better.
Hey, shout out to
like,
Pac Div.
Yeah, shout out to Pac Div, man. And like, it sucks that there was like that beef in
Yeah.
LA between you and I and Pac Div, because there was no biting at the time like that.
Yeah.
There was definitely some influence.
Yeah.
But like, and I feel them. I would have been mad too, you know? But like, I wish it didn't work out like that, because together, you and I and Pac Div, we could have fucking made millions together. Nobody in LA was buzzing
True story.
like that, man.
Yeah.
True story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, wow.
And now I'm cool with everybody. and
Yeah.
shit, right?
No,
It's like
like just played my party in my living room party.
bro,
Hills.
it's crazy because it's like young shit. You know what I mean?
Young
And like,
shit, man.
as you said earlier, you never know what it is until you experience it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, in this game, beefs will happen.
Yeah.
But as men, they won't really last if it's something that really doesn't carry weight like that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, we all go through different shit and then like realize, oh, look, I fucked up here, or you know what I'm saying? Like, you fucked up, but let me go talk to you. I want to be a bigger man.
Like, I hated that me and Pac Div didn't get along like that, because like we had like a dope relationship prior to like you and I kind of like taking off.
during this time, that's obviously like another turning point.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy because you see a turning point with like the success starting to happen with you and I, the LA movement, your guys' buzz really blowing. Then this friction between you guys and Pac Div, another turning point, but in the other direction. Did that affect you and I at all?
You know what? In hindsight, I'm pretty sure it did have an effect on you and I.
Yeah.
You know, and I had to take responsibility for that, because I felt like I was probably the most personally affected by these beefs.
Yeah.
You know, like,
You wear your heart on your sleeve.
yeah, I wore my heart on my sleeve, and like, you know, I was good with everybody. I was like, you know, I wanted a community of artists, you know, essentially. That's why I did the LMU shows and brought everybody. So the fact that, you know, they're spitting on you and I feel like they truthfully were spitting on Thurz, on Yannick. You know, they were spitting in my face personally. So I took it to heart even more.
Yeah.
And like, you know, Jonas was the type to just kind of brush it off his shoulder. And I was like, yo, that's cool. But like, these dudes are like, you know, this is LA. Like, this is a different market. This is not just a brush it off your shoulder market.
Yeah.
At that time, that's what I was thinking. And I wanted to address everything. So like, me responding to some of these beefs definitely probably negatively affected the group.
Word.
So I got to take responsibility for that.
Word.
Yeah.
So that's insane. So post this now, was your fan base split? Like, did you see a actual like physical split in your fan base, like those going?
Not
like
necessarily, but in LA.
In LA.
Yeah. But like, you know, we were kind of like transitioning to a point where we were getting a global fan. I don't want to say it was that big.
No, but yeah,
it's expanding to where it was just more than just being like a regional thing.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So it didn't really have like as big as an effect as it would have had maybe like 8 months prior.
Yeah,
or something like that.
But it was definitely definitely like a split in LA.
Yeah,
definitely.
That's insane to experience. Going forward from this, like, so now you have the split between the LA crews. You guys are doing what you're doing. Where's your future headed now with you and I?
So, okay, this was like 2000. This is like 2010.
Yeah.
Right. The Dom fight was 2010, and we still had the green label situation. That was about 2010. Land of the Kings or whatever. So right when we dropped this Land of the Kings record, it would have made the most sense had we had a new project to come out to supplement, you know, Land of the Kings.
Yep.
But, you know, when I was describing that process of how I was almost pulling teeth to get something that was valid to really put out, you know, that tension remained. And like, you know, the productivity decreased between you and I. And we ended up having to re-release A Love Supreme. We just had to like almost take the same process that we did with Land of the Kings and add live musicians on certain songs and do 2.0.
And that's just because you guys couldn't be productive together at this point.
I'm not going to say we couldn't be productive together because I was writing a lot of songs, you know,
okay,
but it was just like, it wasn't a Thurz solo time. It wasn't Thurz solo time at that time.
Right.
And I was developing as an artist as well. I was getting better and better, you know, because Jonas had a lot of charisma. But I was like more of the creative. I was like,
what year was this? What time?
2010, 2009. You know, I was.
It's insane, bro. Looking back, like in hindsight.
Yeah.
I came into both the You and I situation and the New Kingdom situation when there was an imminence of a breakup.
Yeah.
Well, it's crazy because it's like, again, you're repeating the same process you just went through.
Yeah.
You're fighting to be productive, and for you, as you're saying, you know, you're developing as an artist. You're still writing. You're carrying the weight. I'll just say, if that's correct. Man, it's like that's a really tough place to be in. Is that when like your first thoughts of like, I want to maybe be a solo artist start to kick in, or not even yet? Or were you still like, nah, this needs to work. I'm gonna find another way to make this work.
I mean, I definitely wanted it to make it work.
Yeah.
But there is always that back thought, and I was scared of that thought.
Of course.
Like where I would have to be a solo artist because, like I was saying, like, you know, Jonas had more charisma than me at that time, you know? And I was more of the creative, like just in the studio, the writer.
Y'all complimented each other so well.
Of course,
But that was the case.
It's that yin and the yang.
Jonas was that rock star of the group.
Yeah.
Thurz was the motherfucker putting contextual, lyrical, storytelling, like content into the picture.
Yeah.
And I feel like you were always like yearning for Jonas to like match that because you knew what that potential could be.
Yeah.
Right. And it's crazy because like at that time, 2010 and onward, like you were building as a performer. Like I remember watching Thurz, watching Jonas like skydive into the crowd.
Yeah.
Right. And Thurz was like, bruh, it's like, you get to like imagine yourself at Raging Waters and you going up to that top you going like, for real though, you going up to that fucking that water slide that's like hella steep and you're like, you know what, you just saw a fucking 70-year-old woman ride down this, right?
Yeah.
You go up there, you look down and you're like, hell no. But then you at the point where you at the point of no return, and you're not gonna walk back down the motherfucker.
Yeah.
So you're gonna go down it.
You have to.
And the first stage dive
God,
I ever saw Thurz do, this motherfucker got up. He had the confidence like, whoa. But then reached the stage and looked up and he was like, wait. And I feel like, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, I felt like he had that thing of like, what if they don't fucking catch me though? Like, I'm not about to put myself in this position. And he did the most fucking dilapidated dive, but he did the dive. He did the dive.
What city was this?
Bruh, I'm trying to fucking picture this, bruh, because like, and fuck you for asking this question, because there were a few cities where there have been mediocre stage dives.
Wait. No, I had some good stage dives.
You definitely did. No, you definitely did, bro. And this is to that point. And this is to that point because yes, Jonas did have the charisma, but naturally, as with anything, you put the fucking work in, you get it. That's not to discount any of your performance, but it's very hard to engage a crowd, as seen with Kendrick, on pure lyrical prowess, because crowds are wanting to be entertained. And I really, and the craziest shit for me is that I saw this on the onset, and this is really what made me who I was with y'all, because we did the South by Southwest shit. I was geeked the fuck up. This was 2010. Yeah. Feel me? These motherfuckers did like 15 showcases. Fuck. Everybody was out there like, bro, like, and it's wild to me to think that like all of this had happened internally and you were still like on that brink then, because now I see it differently. You feel what I'm saying? Now I'm able to really internalize it differently, because like we're really getting that scoop in that story. Because let's be honest, bro, like, yeah, we were close. Yeah, we worked together. Yeah, we had a natural respect for one another, but I didn't know that story back then. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I was still a newbie, so I couldn't ask that. True. Right? Just like a fan can't ask what we're doing on this podcast of artists. Yeah. So which is why we want to utilize this platform to really give them that real, you know what I'm saying? But we had an opportunity to meet Talib Kweli and High Tech on the Reflection Eternal tour in the Midwest. We chose, and I was a very big proponent of this, to open in San Francisco for Drake, right? And let's be really honest, bro. Drake has been a really shitty performer for a long fucking time, but his music is incredible, right? His performance has gotten a lot better, but he was fucking horrible in 2010.
I have to halt you. I have to stop you.
Halt me.
That Coachella performance was whack as fuck, and that was like, what, last year?
Yeah.
So I'm a Drake fan, but that Coachella performance brought my high all the way.
I feel you.
Down.
I feel you.
So I don't know if he's gotten better.
Look,
that's all I want to say.
No, but look, hold on. I feel you. Shout out to Thurz for realizing later that he didn't want to start the beef, and like he was a bigger, like he's starting a new one right now. You saw what happened to Meek was a travesty. No, but let's be really honest. Like, it's very hard to engage a crowd, right? But besides that, when we did the show with Drake in San Francisco, bro, what I realized was, I was like, oh, word, like Drake, he's bubbling right now. Let's do that show, then let's hop on the road, right? But what I realized then is that those fans in San Francisco, bruh, all they wanted to do was see Drake. Oh, yeah. Even though Drake gave them the most mediocre show on the fucking planet Earth, you and I came out there and blew the fucking stage to fucking smithereens. Yeah. But when a fan base does not know your music, right, nor are not looking forward to you rocking, right, you don't get that energy. You feel me? Sure. On the road with Talib Kweli and High Tech, which was like a complete educational course for me, was a lot of fans still didn't know you and I. So like, me, imagine this, me coming from USC, me realizing, damn, you and I's popping, but I wasn't on that hype to where I wanted to be one of them. Yep. Right? I realized that there was a beauty in being able to fucking make sure that these cats had somebody that they can count on. Right? But the beauty of it was these cats were so fucking incredible performing. Every show we did, they lit that city up. And that is what music is, because you could be popping in LA or New York. You could be popping on the internet, but it does not mean that the United States fucks with you.
True.
That's why you have to fucking tore your brains out to touch the fans.
Yeah.
Which is what they were doing. You understand me? And Thurz, back to that point of performances, it's like, bro, like, you were an incredible performer.
Oh, thank you, man.
You know what I'm saying? But it also takes much more charisma for a lyricist to engage a crowd.
Oh, yeah.
Because a crowd is not there to focus on the lyrics.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, yeah.
And we'll get into we'll transition back to this conversation too, just with the latest developments of everything too. Like, this is a great topic to touch on again. Like, totally correct. Totally correct.
Yeah, I mean, but taking that and going back to the dynamic between you and YO, everything you're saying about stage performance, and that both you guys are incredible performers, but YO having the charisma, generally being known for that, like the signature, signature mohawk.
He sparked me on stage, and I would try to spark him in the studio.
Yeah.
So it was like a good dynamic. You know?
So, but now taking all that, which is highly important. I mean, you have to put in the work, and you have to perform. You have to put out songs. It's all important. But going back to the initial thoughts of like the frustration, being scared of the thoughts of going solo.
Yeah.
Because now you're thinking like, no, Nushi, stay with us, baby.
Here.
You almost fell, B.
I almost fell back, baby.
Now, even like if those thoughts start to enter, you're like, the frustrations start to occur, and it's like, it's crazy because how do I say this? When you start to fear, you have to put the questions like, all right, now YO is part of my identity, really is. You and I is part of your identity.
Yeah.
Can you be successful without this counterpart? Can you be as charismatic without this counterpart? Can you still be Thurz without this counterpart?
Yeah.
Can you still have the crowd? Like, all those things are what lays into the fear of going solo and developing as an artist.
Yeah.
So it's like easier, let me try to make this work. But then you have to balance that with how much of my time and effort is going into try to make this work versus actually making fucking music. Because I was in that position in New Kingdom. I'll tell you straight up, the exact moment was I realized, both Orrin and I realized, like, we were putting in too much time and effort into trying to make things work and not making music and not making strides in what we're doing. Yeah. And it gets blurred for a while, but then that line becomes very, very clear. Yeah. At that point, though, now where you're just starting to feel this, it wasn't there, but how from that point to the next few months progress from there? Because you guys were together from that point for how much longer?
So 2010, we broke up, I think in 2010.
Yeah, in 2010.
Yeah.
So it progressed from there. I'll just get into it. So leading up to that, you guys, you did put out new music. You put out Love Supreme.
And I don't want to say that's new music. I hated the fact that we had to put out Love Supreme 2.0.
Yeah.
Like, I hated the fact that we did that. The only bonus about 2.0 was the Lately remix with Miguel.
Now, no, let's stop there for a second. This was actually before Miguel was really Miguel, too.
Yeah, but this actually blew up Miguel.
Yeah.
It's like, this is what gave Jive the confidence to back Miguel. Like, 'cause he was just sitting on his label, sitting there, you know, and the fact that we did this song, and he had a crazy, fan base. Girls love Miguel. But what triggered Jive at the time to, promote this guy was our song, Lately.
Yeah.
And that was a dope record.
Was that a turning? What's really wild, bro, is that I was sitting behind Miguel when he was recording at True Studios.
Oh, yeah.
That was insane to me. I literally was nestled up next to fucking Nick's, heater or whatever the fuck that ensemble was in that room, watching Miguel in the all black shaved head with the fucking leather strap jump on that he had, fucking chalice of you know what I'm saying, Latter-day Saints on.
Hey, that was a dope session.
Wild session,
That was a dope ass session. I'm mad we didn't record that other joint on that DiBiase beat though.
Oh my God.
Imagine that. Fuck. He kind of flipped his Michael Jackson joint. I mean, like, he flipped his Michael Jackson lyric over this DiBiase beat. And it was incredible, dude. It was incredible.
It's wild, bro, because like when Miguel was recording that, like I just had this like crazy feeling inside of my like stomach. I was like, bruh, we got one.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Like not that Cats hadn't had one.
No,
right?
Like,
but this was one of those records that like you feel and you know.
Yo, I spent my last $80 on a bottle of rosé, but just for that session.
Shut the fuck up.
Just for that session, I was like, fuck it. You live once. We about
really?
I spent my last $80 on a bottle of rosé. I think it was like $72. I arrived. I was like, fuck it.
Let's go.
Moet rosé.
Let's go.
Let's go. And that was a great session, man.
And bro, he's one of the, like, he's a very kindred spirit, bro, because like it's crazy because like he's family, right? Yeah. And like the beauty is that my relationship with Miguel stemmed from my relationship with y'all.
Yeah.
And it's crazy to think that, like, bro, like the real ones in this game stay very much similar to where they started. Naturally, we all change. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But all of this that you've been speaking about has built up to this moment.
Yeah.
South by Southwest 2010, like, to be honest, like, this shit was a monumental South by, bro. Everybody who was everybody was there. That was when y'all were, like, very much so at a pinnacle, right? And made your mark. Like, we did what, like 15 showcases?
Yeah,
then?
definitely like something like that. Something like that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that was insane, man. We had Michael Moore from that one Diddy show on MTV. He was like, was it Making a Band?
Bro,
the drummer?
You know what's crazy about that drummer? Is that Priscilla Renee did Queen Latifah's show?
Yeah.
He was the drummer.
Okay.
And me and him wilded out about that back in the day, bro. This was like a year and a half, 2 years ago.
I didn't even know he was going to like, I'm so glad that he made that happen though.
Yes.
Like,
bro, he came in with his own kit.
Yeah.
Was that the Respect the West show?
Yes.
Where the paramedics were called?
And
where Snoop tweeted at the Young Bucks from the West?
Yep.
Bro, understand this, family, like.
And we brought out Kendrick at that show too.
Yes, bro.
And J-Rock was there. That was an epic show, dog.
That was such a monumental fucking year, bro. And it's crazy for me because, like, it's wild. Like, understand this, y'all that are listening. Y'all have gotten the backstory up until this point. Everything you've heard before now has been leading up to this point.
Yep.
And this is a moment where two artists in a group are in semi-turmoil, which is like bubbling.
And this is at the time of the show.
Yeah.
Insane.
That are on now.
Yeah.
After South by is when they asked me to come on the road with them. Like, bro, YO called me an hour before this show.
Yeah.
And I just happened to be doing my laundry and putting my clothes in the dryer. I said, fuck yeah. You feel me?
I remember that.
And
socks,
we went out and did this. You know what I'm saying? And, like, to be honest, like, it was really cool for me to have Thurz's, like, vote of approval because, you know, me and YO were really cool, but I also respected Thurz for the fact that, like, I knew that he was that motherfucker in the group.
Yeah.
So he made the decision for me, along with Chris. Right? And Chris believed in me as well, which, bro, like, Chris, I love you, bro. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Chris London.
Chris, you ugly, man.
Hey, but he's swole as a motherfucker, though.
Steroids,
yeah,
man.
They're like Billy Blanks in this motherfucker right now.
Steroids. I know he balled like Billy Blanks, too.
But imagine this, like this turmoil is brewing, all of these things are happening, you know what I'm saying? South by Southwest puts y'all the fuck on, you know what I mean? Which leads to the Reflection Eternal tour.
Yeah.
Right?
With the infamous Tupac and Biggie arguments.
You know what I'm saying? Bro, it's crazy. Because let's get to that point. Y'all are bubbling. Everybody and their moms is talking about you and I. Yeah. Your shows at that point have gotten so fucking crisp.
Let's talk about just that point though. Like, when was it really the end of you and I? Like, you guys are at your peak. So
I'll say this.
Yeah.
Recording the Khalil songs was like a dope experience. You know, like, definitely had to push to get like the quality I wanted out of those records. And, you know, I just got the process of that whole Land of the Kings records kept repeating itself.
Yeah. And you were, I remember now, like, it's crazy. Like, you were always about that. You were like, bruh, come stronger.
Yeah, because I was like, at this time,
get to the studio.
J. Cole starting to pop.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you have, you know, I introduced artists like Kendrick, and then they're starting to elevating.
Yeah.
So it's like, yo, man, like,
It's your turn.
the game is changing, bro.
Yeah.
Like, please, dog. Like, if
I
you
feel
really want to
you.
do this, the lyrical ability, the lyrical content does have to step up a bar.
Yes.
Like, if you're not going to
Charisma will not always outweigh that.
Yeah. And like, you know, charisma is great for the live show.
Yes.
But like, we need to step it up song-wise. That's what I was pushing for.
Did you ever take it to the point of like, bro, like, let's get in together and like, let me help you craft it?
Dog, yeah. I was like, yo, if you need, and I wasn't even trying to disrespect, but I was
This is where
like,
the pride comes into play, though, yeah?
definitely.
Word.
I was like, yo, man, like, I can even, like, you know, I could just write
Right.
it maybe, you know, because, like, I do this.
Yeah.
You know, like,
And you still wanted to keep the group together.
of course, I wanted to keep the group. I wanted to keep the group going, you know, but I think the breaking point was that studio sessions started being missed.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was like an Adidas fucking shoe deal that Anush was helping us with.
Yep.
You know?
We were designing this shoe in me and Shaq's living room, bro.
Yeah.
So, okay, this is
And that was a straw, Loki.
I think that was the straw that broke the camel's back.
That was.
Why?
That was.
Because we are unsigned artists with a fucking shoe deal from Adidas.
and what happened?
They're talking 6 major market rollout.
Yep.
You understand me? A shoe deal with Adidas. Let me put an asterisk here and say that Big Sean was the next one to get it right after them.
So,
You understand me?
so what happened with it?
I want to let
We
Thurz
we didn't deliver on anything, you know, because
what were they asking? Music or just
no,
perform?
this is just to complete a design.
Oh, just the design. Oh, they're saying
complete-
design your shoe. We'll push this.
Yeah, we couldn't even agree on the fucking designs. Couldn't agree on music. Couldn't agree on designs. And it's like, yo, man, at this point, you're hurting the group.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was like, yo, man, I don't even want to do this anymore. He's like, yo, I don't want to do the group anymore. I was like, fuck it. All right, no more you and I. And that was it. And at this time, we were booked for Rock the Bells. And I was like,
You
fuck.
were booked for Rock.
We were booked for Rock the Bell. And I told Murs, I didn't even have all my music together. But like, you know, at that point I was like, damn, I kind of had the idea that this shit was ending. So I just started recording shit on my own. The first song I recorded was Kings Keep Marching. And we used Kings Keep Marching for a hat campaign we did. And, you know, at that point, you know, I told him, I was like, yo, if you're not going to come with it on this song, don't even do it. And he came with like a bad verse. And I was like, yo, I'm just going to finish it myself, bro. And like, you know, he understood, but he was upset about it. And then the campaign was pretty big for us at the time. We were selling hats, you know. This was like our first merch shit.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was flying.
Flying.
But that was the first song I had to record by myself. And then I just started.
How'd that feel, bro?
Wait, oh yeah.
I was like, I felt good about it.
Okay.
I felt good. I was like, damn, I wrote this song.
Word.
I wrote everything about this song. This is my concept.
Was this the first moment where it was like integrity was back?
Yeah.
For you?
Yeah. I was like, yo, I'm not losing my integrity. I'm not.
And you and I at this point is officially done.
It wasn't officially done.
But it was just you guys were like, he's like, I don't want to do this anymore. You're like, fine,
Yeah. I was at the point. I'm like, I'm not compromising.
right.
After that was when we fucking like stopped it. Like,
And
know,
you still actually. There's probably a party that still wanted to make it kind of work and be like, look, he'll get over this. He'll turn it.
You know
into
what's
the-
wild, bro?
I did want it to make it work.
Yeah.
You know what's wild, bro? I was like screaming at everybody, bro, and like I was like on some shit where like, and Thurz even knows, like I was telling him like, bro, like how y'all can't break up, right? And even still, it's crazy. Like students to the game and cats that are living this understand that you won't always know what's going on with the artists you work with because my position was just to get it done,
Yeah.
right? There's history in this shit that you still won't know, right?
Yeah.
There's events that have happened and moments that have taken place that could fracture or fuck up a relationship that you may not know of. You may see tension, but you may not know the history of it, which is why like this whole conversation trips me the fuck out because I have so much more of an understanding of these times, right? And one of the things that I was screaming to these two was like, bro, like, understand this, like y'all break up, like y'all starting back from square one.
Well, that's a huge thing. See, that's one of the biggest fucking fears is like do you really start from square one? You know, and I think during that time where you now just recorded your first solo track kind of by accident.
Yeah.
You're not really thinking about pushing yourself as a solo artist. I mean, are you like really thinking about it? No, it's like I'll do this, but this is still a you and I track.
I was just like, I had to toy with the idea first.
Yeah.
I had to like, you know, put my foot in the water. And Kingsley Marcher was the first time I put my foot in the water. And I did like another little freestyle, whatever. And the next song I did was Los Angeles. And that was, I guess that kind of solidified it.
Word.
You know, obviously we had like a meeting. Me and Jonas had a meeting. And I was like, all right, we ain't doing the group no more. You know, he told me, he's like, yo, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
Because if we're not on the same page, it doesn't make sense to me. And I'm like, are we leaving a lot of money on the table? You know, and like
a lot, bro.
Man, how crazy is that? You have this Adidas opportunity. You have Rock the Bells. You're at the peak of your guys' career. You're at the.
They had a show which, correct me if I'm wrong, set off KC Veggies.
Which one?
The Fairfax High in Westchester, the
Oh,
Nike
yeah.
sponsored event that y'all gave to him.
I had to give it to Casey, dog.
This is.
I
gave it to Casey.
I gave it to Casey.
You feel me?
And that gave him a relationship with Nike.
Yes.
Him and Anwar, they like exploited it for a while, you know.
Jeez.
But like,
yeah, it's like you guys are at the height. So I just want to point this out. For an artist, for you guys to reach that level is really fucking hard.
yeah,
Really hard. A lot of years, a lot of hours. So to end it, you got to understand the how powerful, how serious it really was to give all that up. So many people dream of that and don't and get a fraction of it. Most people get a fraction of that.
Absolutely.
So you're talking about people who actually have it, that are willing to stop it because internally that's how fucked up it really was. And no one can really understand that. You wonder why bands break up. You wonder, oh my God, they got, huge bands, like millions and millions and millions of dollars, Guns N' Roses, Beatles, whatever. Those are two wild examples.
Yeah, you went really hard.
Sorry, but you wonder why. Like, you're like, this doesn't make sense. You could be on top of the world and you're just going to stop.
yeah.
But it really was that real for you guys. It didn't matter
Because
at that
there's a
point.
human aspect to this shit, bro.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
art. Well,
Did you feel like you were losing your human integrity if you kept it going? Or was the money
crazy?
still on the table, bro?
It was crazy. My perspective at the time, I needed money.
Word.
So I was like, let's do this shit.
Did you fight for it though, or were you like,
I wasn't gonna fight.
If you gonna say some bullshit, then fuck you.
I wasn't going to fight. I was going to like make reason. I was going to make reason.
Word.
Like, yo, man, we built this up. So
Yeah.
let's keep it going.
Yeah.
Like, I guess whatever's happening between us, we'll sort it out.
Yeah, because there had been times, bro, let's be honest, where like I was at shows with y'all and y'all would shake hands and be looking east and west, bro.
Yeah.
It was insane for me.
Yeah,
To
it
see
got to
them
that point.
to see them give the most blasphemous daps to one another, bro. And then rock a show.
Yeah.
I cared about this shit.
Yeah.
I cared about this shit because I feel like I personally like attached myself to it. I was financially like attached to this shit. I was creatively orchestrating this shit.
So when he said he doesn't want to do it anymore, you still wanted to fight for it. We have a lot of money on the table.
Yeah, I wanted to fight for it because I'm like, damn, like I used some of my credit card on this on this last video.
Wow. Yeah,
like,
yeah,
come on,
yeah.
bro. Like, what the fuck? But I wasn't gonna like beg.
Yeah.
I was like, I know I'm dope. That I created a lot of these songs.
Yeah.
You know, so I was like, all right, I'm gonna have to step up. If you're not gonna be down to like keep it going, I have to step up and like better myself for this role.
Yeah.
And doing, Kingsley Marching and then Land of the King. Then Los Angeles. That started that warmed me up.
Yeah.
It warmed me up.
Let me ask you before we delve, like I want to delve into that pivot moment of your solo career. But before we delve into that, and this is just a question of you looking back on it, as far as like naturally, bro, like in those moments, as pride, ego, and communication evolved, right? Mm-hmm. Was there anything that you would have done differently looking back on it now. Not to put anything, not to throw anything against what has been done since then, right? But looking back on it, especially from like even a business decision, right? Like, cause there may be that point where, okay, y'all stay together and y'all hate each other and it's naturally going to break off, right? Or y'all, because like, let's put this into context. You guys were a fingernail clipping away
from blowing
the fuck up. Not to say, like, for real. And that's why I was wilding out, right?
Yeah.
And it's crazy for me because, like, I look back at that trajectory. I didn't even look back at to say, like, oh, damn, I would have been so on. Is because I was so attached to y'all. Like, whatever happened with y'all, it was going to run. You know what I'm saying? But y'all were literally a fucking millionth of a millimeter away from blowing the motherfucker up.
I agree.
So looking back on that, is there anything that in that moment, right? You would have done, like, what you think should have been or would have been or could have been done differently?
What's crazy, dude? There's nothing I could have done different.
Wow, bro.
There's nothing I could have done different.
That fucking, I feel you, bro. I respect that to the max, and like my mind is just melted. I want to walk away from the mic and digest this shit.
I feel you, bro, and I feel you. There's nothing I could have done, cause like my perspective at that time has to be respected. Like,
I feel you.
I had a fucking daughter, bro. I was
you.
fucking 22, 23.
Yep.
I'm still a young man, but like I'm saying, like, I was 22, 23. My daughter's like what, 1 or 2.
At that point,
like you understand why I'm doing this shit.
Yeah.
But you understand why I'm doing this shit. You understand both angles.
Yep.
You understand that like I am like, the creative force behind this shit, but like I care about this shit.
Yes.
And then I still need this shit to feed my fucking daughter.
Yeah.
And now you're telling me you don't want to do this shit, so you're taking money out of my fucking hand to feed my daughter.
Yeah.
So it's like you want me to beg you to do this shit for me, when I'm really the nigga that's like behind this shit.
Yeah.
And it's like, I understand you have the charisma on stage and obviously you sparked me.
You weren't going to swallow that.
I was like, I couldn't. Like,
No.
well, I'm not going to beg nobody. And
No
I'm
way.
like, really, I'm like,
No way.
without the
Because you would have perpetuated it. You feel me? And
and
you
then
weren't
have,
going to deal with that.
and then have a big money situation come in. This shit's going to get uglier.
Absolutely.
It's just going to get uglier. So
Absolutely.
That's such a wild perspective,
Well,
bro.
I mean, there is nothing you can do at that point. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, it's not like staying in that toxic situation is going to create more success, number one.
Yeah.
It's a very short-sighted kind of
Yes.
way of looking at it. Maybe you'll make some money back in the short run, in the short term, but that time is going to end and you're going to have more financial commitments that you're going to have to fuck with.
Yeah.
It would have just been uglier, dude. Like, it would have been like,
I completely
the
respect
creativity, the integrity behind you and I would have diminished like instantly, in my opinion. And like,
Y'all low key would have been a studio session separately.
it'd have been bad, man. Like I wouldn't want a legacy like that. I wouldn't want.
you.
I wouldn't.
man.
Hold
on.
Can
Can we take a moment to really reflect? Like, this is the spotlight coming down. There's artists and there's human beings, and they're both the fucking same.
Yeah.
Yep.
As a human being, you could not take that.
Nah, man.
Can't do it.
This isn't the everybody sees us as this light. Everybody thinks that, you know what I'm saying? Bro, like when I went back to South by Southwest, first time I went to South by was in 2010. Second time was in 2014. Everybody asked me what happened with you and I. You know what my answer was with everybody is pride, ego, lack of communication. Although it puts it in a much crazier perspective to me now, understanding it from your view, because we never really talked about it like that. But like I never really wanted to really go there like that. But like naturally, like the death of a man is a pride, ego, lack of communication. But I have such a deeper understanding.
I just want to make a new quotable.
Holla at me. Is this a Thurz generator?
Oh, shit.
It's not a Thurz generator.
Okay.
I just want to say, death is a beautiful thing.
Death is a beautiful thing.
It's fucked up, but it's a beautiful thing.
Death is a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Just like rock bottom is a beautiful thing.
Because hindsight doesn't exist without something dying.
You know what the beautiful, like, you know what the craziest shit about this shit right here is that we're able to have this conversation with you right now, and the vulnerability of it is so fucking gorgeous for me. And I'll be vulnerable in this moment to say that even back in that time, like, understand, I just graduated college.
Yeah.
I was like balancing the scenario around us, right? But I never felt that I had the internal strength enough to like ask you questions that penetrated the surface.
I feel you.
You feel me?
Yeah.
And even with
I probably
YO,
couldn't even have had this conversation
word.
like until this year, like this,
That's
and be
insane
open
to me,
about it.
bro.
It's
Like it's historic
tough shit.
for me,
It's
bro.
Tough shit.
You know what I'm saying? Like hearing this completely, like, let's take the draping over this, right?
Oh yeah. And there's still variables that haven't, like that you still have to factor in. Like obviously you have to hear Jonas's like
Absolutely.
honesty like this now too.
Absolutely.
Of course. Oh,
Absolutely.
100%.
Bro, there's always
100%.
sides, but let me tell you this, bro. Like for me, like I low key want to shed a tear right now on some true shit because I was a part of this from the jump. Cats asked me, well, not from the jump, but like I was a part of this from.
Nah, you
from,
was there.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Cats asked me what went down. Pride, ego, lack of communication is a very form-fitting response for that.
Mm-hmm.
But understanding that on such a deeper level from where you were really at that point makes me just like appreciate it that much more, bro.
Yeah.
Because all of us were rooting for this to succeed.
Yeah.
But knowing that as a human being, when you factor decisions in your life in as a human being and you know that it can't work, you're willing to lose it all. Mm-hmm. Like for me, I asked myself for so long, I was like, how are they willing to give all of this up? Right? But I didn't know what you would have been giving up as a human being had you guys continued.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like, it's so crazy to me. Let's transition into this. You start releasing music on your own.
Yeah.
Naturally, you're dealing with the fact that you guys have had such, acclaim in this scene and you have to start over.
Yeah.
Right? And then you also realize like a lot of the fans that were fucking with you and I aren't going to naturally gravitate towards both of your solo careers.
Well, and also it's weird because as a solo career, even at first, you're not really solo because you're still Thurz from you and I.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, for real.
Like that's that.
Bar.
It's like.
When do you shake that?
I mean, was that ever like printed on like a poster or something like for a show like Thurz of you and I?
Oh yeah,
Like,
there's a few posters.
Was that a
and
slap?
I'd be upset. I'd be like, "Yo, man, take that shit off."
Yeah,
man.
but it's
I'm not doing a fucking show.
yeah, it's
But like,
no, it's weird, right? I mean, it because it's so much a part of your identity and
Yeah.
what you did.
and like that, like the fact that I get mad about it, like when I was at that time was definitely ego. Is like because
course.
you and I made theirs.
Yeah.
Like there would be no Thurz without you and I. Like
Word.
fucking you and I is epic, man. That shit was like it's
Bro,
a staple in LA.
Y'all put the culture on your back. Let's be very fucking
Straight,
real.
straight up.
It's still a part of who you are. It's
Still.
just, I mean, look, it's both. You can be Thurz and you and I right now.
Yeah.
It's like it's just it's a part of your history, a part of what you've been through, and that's never going to leave, nor should it ever.
It's like it's a footstep that hasn't been walked outside of what you and I has done.
Right.
Like it's a very unique situation.
Yeah.
And what's crazy is like jumping into that solo situation, I had to burn down everything.
Mm-hmm.
So like
Wow.
yeah,
The rebirth.
the rebirth, I had to burn down everything, and I had to like connect with the history of the city.
After death right now.
Yeah. So like that's why when Tomas like hit me with the idea of that he was doing research about the LA riots, I was like, fuck.
Well, this is interesting. And sorry to interrupt, but I wanted to bring this up with the LA riots, like that. I'll let you get into it, but I think the important point is like not only this shapes your identity completely on the other side of the spectrum of you.
Very much so.
Oh yeah, because you and I is like party, fun, like shoes.
Yeah.
So were you conscious of like that as before you get into it? Were you like conscious of like I need to do something like this if I'm going to be my own person? Or was it just like, you know, I'm just taking a different step and this is organically happening? Or were you
It was definitely organic, but I still felt like I had something to prove. I felt like, damn.
Word.
Because of like all these fucking beefs in LA and like, you know, the fact that you and I represented a fun, lighthearted style of music, I felt like I had something to prove, like lyrically, content wise.
You had a voice you wanted to be heard.
Yeah, I had a voice I wanted to voice something that had substance, more substance than what you and I represented. And I had to do that to like establish my new artistry. Not even new artistry. It just establish myself as an artist that stands on his own. So
even for yourself.
Yeah.
Fuck everyone else. Even just for you to absorb I'm looking in the mirror and I'm just Thurz. Like that one, there's got to be an emptiness that you feel from No More You and I, so, to some degree, because that's you waking up every morning with that and then not having it. It's like you break up with a girlfriend, and even if you want to do that, you still wake up the next morning like, I missed whatever that life. There was a routine. There was you know, so like coming up with this new approach, it's like I have to be a new me. Yeah. You know, and get used to that. And who the fuck is that person?
Yeah.
But I'm going to try to identify it in this way. You're from LA, right?
Yeah. Inglewood.
Yeah. Born and raised. Yeah. There's no better way to do that. It's like step back and start connecting with the thing that's most familiar other than your group, which is your roots.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, man. Like, it's crazy. So like, I was recording the music, you know, I just started like just recording, you know, and obviously I had to just rewind it back a little bit, but Kingsky Marching was the first song I recorded.
Yeah.
Then Los Angeles was the second song I recorded. And, you know, I was like building with Tomas even more at the time because he was aware of everything that was happening.
Very creative visuals you had there, bro.
Yeah. So I told him everything that was happening, man. He's like, yo, man, I feel you. And, you know, I want to support you, man. And, you know, we just kept building, you know, we just kept having conversations. And, you know, he started researching the LA riots. And I was like, yo, man, it's so crazy that you're researching this right now, because I remember my first experience with the riots was driving from my grandmother's house. And my grandmother lives on 55th and Central to this day in South Central. And my mom came and picked me up after work, and we were driving back to Inglewood. She picked me up from my grandma's house. And, you know, the road from my grandmother's house is Central to Slauson. Slauson, we pass Normandy. Mm-hmm. And when we get to Normandy, we just see a whole bunch of, like, police and riot gear and just angry citizens, like, you know.
How old were you at this time?
I was, like, 6 or 7. You know, at this age, I couldn't comprehend everything that was happening, but I'm having this conversation with Tomas. And it just sparked me to start researching everything that happened in the city at this time. And I just found so much inspiration in that at that time. I was like, damn, the city burned down.
Yeah.
Damn, my old history of you and I and my attachment to that needs to burn down.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So it kind of just sparked all these ideas. And like, you know, it was crazy that I recorded Los Angeles prior to this situation. And then it was just like, damn, God is talking to me. Like, damn, I made a song about Los Angeles, the pros and cons of Los Angeles, the good and bad, the dark, the light, evil, goodness, all about LA. And that kind of like served as like a cornerstone for me doing an LA riot project, a project based around LA. So I was like, all right, I'm going to do it. And then, you know, Chris was like, yo, you can't talk about the LA riots without talking about Rodney King. I was like, you're fucking right. So we go and research Rodney King, and then we do a whole fucking like cinema on Rodney King, you know? And
incredible.
I still think that's one of like my best songs that I've done, like creatively.
Yes.
You know, I think it's one of the most creative songs that have come out.
Yes.
You know, like, you know, obviously.
Yes, I agree.
People, I don't know if it's reached as many people that it needs to reach, but I still think nobody has fucked with that song like they should. You know, like on like just a ratings level, like I no artist has really like surpassed what that song means.
Word. From
like the first person perspective to the spoken word into the production. I think it's incredible, man. So that song after LA Riot that removed LA Ride as the cornerstone, and Rodney King was the cornerstone for me as an artist.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck, this is crazy. Then you got songs like Hell's Angel that just came with me and BJ. And like, it was crazy. It was crazy, man. Me and Aaron Harris just kind of went in. We did like all these rock songs. We were like almost on some like fucking Rage Against the Machine type shit, some Tom Morello shit.
Crazy.
And it was a new experience for me.
Yeah.
I was just like kind of
But
like.
you were willing then.
Yeah, I had to be.
You have no choice. You literally have no choice but to be open to everything.
Yeah.
You don't know where you're gonna land.
Yeah.
That's the crazy
You'd already
part.
killed your last ego. Bro.
Yeah, and I had to.
It's right now blank canvas time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just a lot of discovery to be done. Yeah, that's crazy.
I'm glad you said that word, blank canvas. We'll get into that sooner.
Yes.
Soon. And so, like, yeah, man, like LA Riot, I was like just open, and it still followed what you and I represented to an extent, because like you and I had no parameters to the soundscape what we were doing.
True.
And I kept that alive with what I was doing with LA Riot. Like it was some rock shit. Nobody would expect any rock shit from me. And like when I did Molotov Cocktail, I was like, fuck. I was like, damn, this is crazy. Yeah, you were part of that project,
Let me ask you this. And this is like quintessential to this blank canvas concept, because as an artist, all the trials and tribulations you've gone through, your craft had been and has been refining. Your craft naturally refines every fucking day that passes, because you have such a fucking fervor for your craft, right?
Yeah.
How, like, and speaking on how classic, the Rodney King record was, and like this whole project as a body of work really was, let's be honest, understand me? How is it for you as an artist whose craft has reached such a pinnacle? Like you were on, like that, you were on in that project.
Yeah.
Like you were cinematic in that project. Like it was a documentary on some fucking like Stephen Avery type shit. You understand me? Mm-hmm. To have that project come out and knowing the game, knowing how it works, knowing that it's not receiving the ears and the eyes that it should be. Mm-hmm. How is that for you as an artist? And how do you deal with that, right? Because like, naturally you're going to continue to build, but like knowing that you've been and you're continuing to go through this journey, naturally your craft is refining. You reach the moment where you went away with that identity of the attachment to that group. Mm-hmm. But even with that, your craft was building and growing. Mm-hmm. Your craft is fucking continuing to be refined, and it's getting better and better and better. Yeah. Right? But to be painting Mona Lisa, right? And to also naturally, as an artist, have the urge to feel, see, and hear its impact before you die. Mm. How is that fight and struggle for you as an artist?
Man, it's pretty crazy. Yeah. It's crazy because I understand, I've gauged the impact. Like, obviously it's not like a platinum selling album. Yeah. But then like the conversations I've had because of this project, and just the people that will point me out randomly at the fucking grocery store, or like just randomly at a club, like, and come up to me like, yo man, you're on some Malcolm X shit, man. Like, I'm like, what? Like, I wouldn't even expect some of the comments I've gotten because of LA Riot. I'm like, I gotta say, I didn't even know what I was doing, dog. I felt like I was almost possessed. Really? Yeah, like, so, like, the songs, like, wrote themselves. Like, the songs kind of wrote themselves. It was almost like its own project. I feel like LA Riot almost, it represented Thurz, like, creatively, but you don't know Thurz from that project.
No. I mean, it's so, like you said, it's the other side of the spectrum. I mean, it's still not, though, in a way, but it's so different from what you were doing. Totally. It really is. And
it got rave reviews. Like, I got, like, 4.5-star ratings, 5-star ratings, like, across different, multiple platforms. And I was like, it's like, damn, like, I didn't expect that. Like,
Yeah.
you know, it was a crazy experience, man. Cause like, but like what I just said, you know, you don't know Thurz from this project. You just have like a dope project, but you don't have like a personal attachment to me.
Right.
So like that's what's crazy. Like, you know, it was a blank canvas, and it was just an artistic like pouring out. It was just a burning down of something, and just like the rehabilitation of like, I don't know, a new body almost.
Word.
Yeah.
You know? And then that's why I wanted to name my new album Blood on the Canvas.
Yeah.
I was like, because I understood that. I was like, damn, people are not going to know me from this project. They're gonna hear some dope songs.
Yeah.
No, it's like an art piece.
Yeah.
It's just an art.
Definitely
It's
piece.
just like a really dope piece that just you tried something different.
Yeah.
But
But
you weren't trying. It's just like it's just, hey man, like I've got all these sides to me, and that's just one side that just happened to come out at that time.
Yeah.
But I've got to show all these other parts of me, because
Yeah.
that side of you still very much exists, and it's something that came straight from your soul.
Yeah.
But it's not a defining part of who you are.
Exactly. It's pretty much drone footage. Like it's like an overview of the whole Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you don't know what's happening in any neighborhood.
Yep.
But it's,
You know,
it's,
you
it's
just-
from your mind's eye.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's just like an overview.
Yep.
Like of what happened in Los Angeles, and maybe like a situation happened here, but you don't ever hone in and get like the story of this neighborhood or the story of this character in this neighborhood.
Yep.
Yeah.
So like that's why I was like, damn, I have to put my blood on this canvas. I have to like let people know. And that's why I was like, damn. I did an interview and I was like, damn, yo, my next album is gonna be called Blood on the Canvas. Cause like people need to know who I am
Yeah.
by myself.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm proud of it, right? You know, like it did sell some, you know, little units here and there, and then I ended up giving it away for free, and it still sold, and it was like
Nice.
cool, you know.
Well, it's like the divide between really you and then you and I. It
Yeah.
really is the divide. Like it's
Yeah.
that line that says like, this is the line drawn in the sand,
Yeah,
and I'm going over on this side. And like, it's crazy. It's,
Yeah.
that's pretty much.
nah, that's a great way to describe it. That's what it is, man.
Yeah.
It's definitely a line drawn with that project. And you know, I put out a mixtape like a year later because I was just like, you know, man, Chris was like, yo, you need to put out something else. So I was like, all right, I got these songs that I just recorded. I'm gonna just throw these out,
Yeah.
you know, and nothing like that blew me up or anything.
Yeah.
But there was some cool songs on there here and there.
Did you feel like it was a placeholder?
Definitely a placeholder.
Because you spoke on the fact of like a Love Supreme 2.0 was supposed to be new music.
Placeholder,
This
yeah.
was another. This seems like another moment where it's like,
Yeah.
look, okay, time has passed.
Yeah.
We need to show face here again,
Yep.
real quick.
Yep.
So post LA riots, and what was the next big release that came after that? Was it Blood on the?
So I didn't put out Blood on the
No,
Canvas.
okay, because you put out the.
So it was mixtape and then
there was
the
an
designer.
EP.
Oh, I put out
the
the
designer
EP,
EP, right?
yeah,
And that was
yeah.
2014, right?
Yeah, end of 2014. It was supposed to be earlier, but you know, this is like another big story for me. You know, all right, so I guess I got to take it to 2013, the beginning of 2013. I was like, you know, I'm still recording.
Yeah.
I need to find some side work. I just need to like, you know, have something just to make some extra cash on the side.
Yeah.
So I hit up my boy Josh, you know, Josh Greenberg. Shout out to him, man. He helped me out tremendously. He actually got my dope video premiered on Red Bull.
Oh
know?
yeah, the Redbird.
Yeah.
That's when you linked up with Red Bull and
Yeah.
did the 30 days, right?
Yeah, so we'll get to that.
Okay,
It's not there yet.
Oh, okay.
So you know, he links me up as like a contractor worker with Red Bull.
Word.
So
Is it like artist relations?
yeah,
Like,
yeah. So I'm doing artist relations type stuff. I'm doing seating. Taking like, you know, a few cases to different studios. Then I'm sitting in on studio sessions, and I'm just like, you know, meeting people. It's just a cool situation.
Yeah.
I'm doing like festival support. I go to Coachella.
Yeah.
Doing all this dope shit. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh shit, all right, this is cool. This
Word.
is cool. Y'all gonna pay me to do this? Okay. Cool. So I do that, and then you know, I get curated into one of the showcases for Sound Select, because Sound Select starts. And then I get curated to open up for LP and Warm Brew. at the Troubadour.
Okay.
I'm like, damn, I wasn't expecting this. You know, like, because I had a conversation with the Mr. G of the Sound Select at the time. That's my boy Justin Ruiz. Shout out to Justin, man.
Shout out to everybody at Red Bull.
So, like, you know, he was like, you know, we had a conversation. And he's like, yo, man, I heard you do music. I'm like, yeah, you know, I do some stuff. So I sent him some of the stuff I was working on, a few of the videos. And he was like, yo, this is really good. And then, you know, before we do the Sound Select stuff, he puts me into a Dim Mac show that Chuck English is spinning at. And, you know, I rock it, you know, get really good response from that. And then that leads to me being curated into this Sound Select show at the Troubadour with LP and Warm Brew. And, you know, I rock it. A lot of the Red Bull folks and the Filter magazine folks, they're really like digging what I did on stage. And that propels me into the Sound Select program.
Beautiful.
You know, so I didn't know what I was really getting myself into, you know? And so this Sound Select show, you know, I got a good response from it. You know, a lot of the Sound Select people and Red Bull, you know, corporate folks were present at the show. Okay. And like, yo, this Thurz dude did really good.
Let me ask you this, though. Your mind state, right?
Yeah.
You're still putting off one-off records.
Well, yeah.
You get input into the Sound Select show.
Yeah.
Did that light a fire? Let me ask,
definitely. Was
your fire still robust, or was it like, okay, we got to figure some shit out right now?
No, it's definitely robust.
Okay.
Definitely robust. Okay. And like the opportunity for the show.
Okay. Let's go.
Yeah, I was like, I'm ready.
So it was like, thank you, but it was like,
let's go, baby.
Yeah, yo, motherfuckers about to get it.
It was like, yeah, I was hyped.
Okay.
I was hyped. It was like, it was a great show.
Okay.
It was a great show.
Which I wouldn't doubt
like,
in the slightest.
It was like, I really feel like it was that point to where the charisma got to where it should have been in that show. And luckily, all these Red Bull people were there and present. Yeah, and they wanted to propel me into the Sound Select program as a priority artist. So I'm like, okay, dope. Oh, shit. I'm fucking forgetting something.
Why are you forgetting shit, bro?
So I got to give a shout out to Christian Rich, man. Fucking Christian Rich.
Ken and Ty, bro.
Yo,
what's
man.
good, yo?
They're actually the reason why I'm fucking in Sound Select. They actually curated me into their vinyl that they like curated.
Really?
Yeah, dog. It's a song that we did called I'm forgetting the song right now. It's on my SoundCloud.
Okay.
It's not one of my favorite songs.
Okay.
But like, you know, like the fact that they thought of me to to get me involved with Red Bull.
They speak very highly of you, bro.
No.
Those are my peoples, dude.
It's amazing.
They fucking helped me out tremendously, man.
Those are another set of cats that I wouldn't have a relationship with had it not been for Thurz and Jonas.
Yo, those dudes are amazing.
They are amazing.
Ken and Ty are amazing.
They're crushing it right now, bro.
Yeah. They've been crushing it.
They've been crushing it, bro.
So the record that we did went into this big vinyl that got promoted, and the success of that vinyl got me the show.
Word.
And then I crushed the show. Then I was like, yo, okay, y'all fucking with me. Y'all want to put out a project? Yo, what? I have a song I need to play for you guys. That song I played for them was 21. Woo! All right. So like when I was doing 21, I was like, okay, I did LA Riot already. You know, I did all these other little one-off records. All right, let's get back to having a little fun.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to progress the soundscape that nobody's fucking with. Nobody was fucking with funk. There was no, I gotta be honest. There was no To Pimp a Butterfly. Yeah. There was no Bruno Mars. There was no, what's the producer that produced that song?
Mark Ronson.
Mark Ronson put out his project.
Yep.
Only person that was doing funk was Dame Funk. You know?
Let's be honest though, bro. Like Mark Ronson was thugging.
Oh, Mark Ronson is hard as fuck. But
even before that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh no.
With Amy and fucking like.
Oh, of course, bro. Yeah. I'm a Mark Ronson fucking fan.
Mark Ronson has one of Theophilus London's like illest songs, "Souls of Fire." That shit bang.
Dog, Mark Ronson
I feel you.
But I'm saying
Yeah.
nobody was
No,
doing
I respect
this.
That. I respect
No,
that.
no one was
viewpoint.
doing the
I have
funk.
to be
No,
honest,
I respect that viewpoint to the maximum.
Yeah,
Yep.
I have to be honest because like I wasn't gonna go full all into this.
Yeah.
If I felt like somebody else was doing it.
Yes.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So we did 21, and like I work with this one producer named Chords.
Okay.
Chords has a good rapport with the LA circle,
Okay.
LA circuit.
Which
You
is
know what I mean? He helped break YG, Ty Dolla $ign.
Gotcha. Yeah.
You know what I mean? He did Pineapple Now latest for BJ. So Chords helped produce all that shit, right?
Okay.
Me and Chords, we did LNS off of my mixtape.
Okay.
And we got like a cool little sync that, we made some cash on. So he's like, yo, man, let's keep working.
Yeah.
Me, him, and DJ Dahi did that. And me and Chords started working on 21 prior to this Red Bull situation. Because I was like, yo, man, I just want to like push the envelope with the sound. And I just got to remind the listeners, I did a project with BJ that was all funk. And then I did some other funk shit. So like, this is like what me and Aaron Harris did. I had that in mind. I was like, damn, I remember that nobody's still fucking with this funk sound. Let me take this and let's do 21. So I told Chords, I was like, yo, I'm on some like, I'm on some Michael Jackson shit. Like let's have fun. Let's barbecue and get people. I always felt like I never made a song for girls to dance to. So I was like, damn, 21, I want all these girls to dance. So 21 was that song that I didn't want to be too lyrical. I was like, fuck it. I want people to party. And it worked. It worked. I was like proud of it. And that set the cornerstone for what I was building for Designer. And then, Rebel ate it up. They were like, damn, this is like great. We haven't done nothing like this before. We want to promote you ASAP, But there was so much fucking issues getting my Designer EP out. The legality or the legal aspect of this had to be addressed. And
which was what?
It's pretty much like producer contracts, splits, and all that.
Yep.
And, a fee. And then what was a golden situation just turned to shit.
Let me ask you something. Like, as an artist, like, there comes that touchy point where, like, there are moments where you're like, do I need to fucking express this in the ether? Especially with this day and age where we all have access to every social media stream. Mm-hmm. There are so many things that can be misconstrued.
Yeah.
As artists, naturally, you want to be heard.
Definitely.
Right? You want the people to know what you feel is real.
Yeah.
Right? But there are also moments where when you express truth and what you feel is real without attempting to throw shade at anybody else, it's naturally misconstrued because everybody without a face has a voice.
Yep.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So for you, like, what was that like? And like, did you tread on the fact of like, well, fuck it, let's charge it to the game? Or did you voice your opinion and then,
man,
what happened after that?
It was just a tough situation, bro. It was man, the work and the level of...
It's like your baby was given up for adoption without you wanting it to be.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
like
dude.
you're able to provide for your baby.
Yeah.
Child services took the shit away.
That's a great
on
analogy.
some fuck shit.
It's a great analogy, man. That's exactly what it was. Because, like, I was so proud of this work. I'm still proud of it. Like, shit is just fucked up, man.
I mean, that's, talking about our conversation off the mic, but like, where music is this collision of art and creativity, freedom, vision,
expression,
innovation, all these things you want to do to be the best you can be, but also just deliver something really, really good for this world. And so you have all of that mixed with this capitalism business that's very, very real. And those two can have
the confines of commerce, bro.
Yeah, man.
And those two can have a beautiful marriage, and you'll get amazing things from it. You've gotten, the world of revolutionary music that we've been all able to listen to
Yeah.
worldwide, or you get this stuff.
Yeah.
And there's that side of it too.
The politics, bro.
And unfortunately, the music industry has a bad reputation.
It's definitely the hardest industry to like do good business in.
It's
like,
very hard.
Because people are always looking for the opportunity to get over on somebody.
Yeah.
Even on like the grassroots level, like, fuck, man, like,
And
shit is rough. Shit is rough, man. And like, that situation should not have happened.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, like, what did that do to your psyche afterwards, bruh?
Yeah. Where do you go from there?
Like, that shit had to be, like, super deflating.
It was deflating because
Like, motherfucker, like, you had to be so angry.
Because I feel like it was the best music that I made in my career.
Well, this is yeah. I mean, look at this is another like you saw the peak with you and I to the breakup.
Yeah.
You see your revival.
Part 2 in this shit.
Yeah, you see your revival come with LA riots, but that wasn't really you. That was a project.
Yeah.
And now you're finding yourself. You find yourself.
Yeah.
You reach the peak of what you think is going to be the best, and here it is again.
Yeah. I won't say the peak. The peak.
But you know what it is? I think it was a moment where you knew that you had every single thing behind you that you thought could have catapulted.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
like stars have aligned.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
boom.
And another set of egos took it away.
Yeah. I definitely felt like that was some of the best music to come out in 2014 and 2015. Better than anything in 2015 because that sparked what people did in 2015.
Word.
So, another learning situation.
Yeah.
I feel like I've learned enough. I don't want to learn anymore.
I feel you.
Well, so now after that, what was the next step?
So, without it getting the proper push, it comes back into my hands, and I'm like, damn, do I just sit on this shit? I'm like, no.
You have to put it up.
No, we put it out. We put it out, but it's like, we put it out November of 2014.
Okay.
Then we get to 2015, January. I'm like, damn. All right, I had a cool little buzz for 30 days in November.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
what's next?
you need more beyond anything in your arsenal to get it out there.
Exactly. So all I could do was do what I can.
Word.
Right? So I had to get in front of people. I had to get in front of as many people as possible. The best way I knew how to get in front of people was throwing a dope party.
Word.
Right? So I did a fucking release party at a house in Inglewood.
Did this birth what I think it did?
Yes. This is February of last year. Grammy weekend. I didn't even tell Chris about this shit till like a week before. And I was like, I was doing a lot of work at this time with the homie Jay Pounds. We recorded pretty much an album worth of material. I was like, yo, I want to do shit better than Designer because I'm about to smash all that shit.
Word.
So we were recording like really dope shit. And I was like, all right, yo, man, I never did a release party. Can I do it at your house? He's like, fuck yeah. It's like, they heard about the shit. They heard about the shit I do with Two Dope Boys, all the little parties. Shout out to Two Dope Boys, man.
Word.
And we did this house party in Inglewood, Grammy weekend. I told Chris a few days prior. And he's like, yo, man, you sure you want to do it on Grammy weekend? I'm like, yeah, dog. I don't give a fuck what's happening Grammy weekend. I don't care, man. It's not about none of that Hollywood shit.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, man, I'm just about to do a release party. I want to perform. I'm going to have all my homies come out.
Yeah.
And we just going to have a fucking dope house party. And I called it Party in My Living Room.
Word.
That's the first one I did. And 500 people came out.
Damn.
Yo, hold the fuck up. Shout out to this being another moment of absolute chaos and absolute fuckery. Okay? when a motherfucker feels like the world is against them, when Yannick is literally asking the heavens if karma is against him. You feel me? when motherfuckers realize that, like, bruh, like, am I gonna be 40 when I see some karma coming out back? Am I gonna be 50 in this motherfucker? Is karma gonna come back when my kids are going to college? You feel me? Another moment of pure fucking disaster births something very fucking special.
Word.
Man.
Word.
Very special, dude. Very special.
I love that.
So, like, let me tell you about the people that are involved
Please.
with this first party, man.
Please do.
So, Iman Omari, you know, he's like a fucking very talented producer, talented singer, songwriter. Tiffany Goucher,
Word.
she's blowing up right now.
Word.
She's actually on my EP, on Waiting. And what's crazy today, I released a remix of that song, Waiting, with the homie 14KT from Michigan. And then I had...
Yo, shout out to the fact that you went back to, like, the bread and butter of the college days, bro.
Yeah.
Like, how crazy is that?
coming
Life
full
I
is
never
so
actually
coming
left
full
it, though,
circle,
dude.
yeah.
I never actually left it because,
Word.
like, even when I was doing, like... I was doing a lot of like curation at Colors in downtown.
Yeah, you were.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I was the
you were.
buyer over there and
Yes.
the event coordinator.
Gotcha.
So I brought Taz Arnold over there. We did a whole bunch of parties. So it's like it never left. I always been throwing events, and I was always like, damn.
You were always about the experience.
Yeah, always about the experience, definitely. And with not having the proper push, I was forced to like give people in LA an experience to take in my new music. And
Word.
I was like, I feel like this is great, and I feel like you guys should experience this. So I'm going to give you guys a dope house party, and I'm going to rock my ass off. And it's going to be fucking free for this first time. Open bar, no charge to get in. Like I just invested in an experience for everybody.
Man.
And
You have to.
Yeah, I mean,
You know the game.
Well,
yeah.
people want more than anything right now. Right now, like literally, like people want an experience. They are dying and thirsting for that.
Yeah.
More than just like the music they get on the fucking blogs, more than releases. People want an experience. So you do something like party in my living room.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Like just that title alone.
Yeah.
People are like, oh yeah, I want to go because it has like an exclusivity to it.
Yeah.
Two, it's fucking dope as hell, and people want that like, non-pretentious house party feel.
Yes. The house parties, bro. Like that vibe is so quintessential, family.
Yeah, man. So I was actually supposed to do it the week before I actually did it, but
Okay.
we ended up having to push it back.
Okay.
And it's Grammy weekend. I'm like, all right, fuck. I went and bought all the alcohol, and I had my cousin help me bartend. My boy Keon helped me out with the sound.
Was that Mr. Cooper, bro?
Huh?
Was that?
No. He didn't come to that one. He didn't come to that one.
What's up, Barack Obama? You dig me? Mr. Cooper looking ass. Now I have a platform. I got love for you, baby. Shout out to your little one, though. You feel me? Love.
I had my boy Keon help me out with the sound.
Word.
My boy Tom Kari, he's a Grammy award-winning engineer.
Ooh,
working
you
with
do that.
working with Kanye right now. He helped me out with my audio engineering. He
Nice.
recorded the live sets, everything.
Awesome.
And shit, man, we just had a fucking great time. And it was just a well-produced event. I almost had an anxiety attack before I did it. I was like, fuck, I hope people show up. I was like, I hope people show up because I'm putting a lot of effort into this shit.
Yeah.
And people showed the fuck up, man. Like when I went to run and grab ice and cups from the store, and I was like, damn, I don't know what to expect. And then when I come back, it's like 9:45. The party starts at 9.
Yeah.
But I just I'm taking my time because
Yeah.
I'm like nervous.
Yeah.
Then I just see like there's barely any fucking parking. And I'm like, damn, people are here this early.
Oh wow.
And I walk in and it's just like packed, dog.
Wow.
Wow.
Like, yo, it's not even 10 o'clock yet.
Yeah.
And I just knew that the experience that people wanted was real. And
Yes.
then the response to the live performance was insane. Like,
Yes.
it was just so many girls in there dancing to like the fucking song.
Nobody dances anymore, bro.
I know we gotta.
Especially in LA. You go to a
Yeah.
club, motherfuckers at the tables or motherfuckers just chilling, looking at one another, bro.
And that's why I do part of my living room. People
Yes.
be dancing, dog.
Yeah.
Yeah,
People
they better be
dance,
dancing in your
dog.
motherfucking living room. You feel me?
Yeah. So like, that was the first one I did, and then I ended up doing it 4 times in 2015, like
Nice.
quarterly.
How's it feel for you doing this shit?
It's exciting. It's
Yeah.
exciting. I'm happy to see it, grow,
Yeah.
and I'm happy to be able to attach my music to it.
Word.
So it's like there's like a bigger purpose behind just throwing a fun party. It's like, damn, this is like all for my music and
Yeah.
for the community that I've been looking to build since fucking you and I.
Yeah.
And now it's like I'm finally building that community. I finally have like a personalized platform that I control. So it's like it's exciting, man. It's like I'm not trying to be too excited about it, but it's exciting.
You perform at everyone?
Everyone. I don't have to perform at everyone, but it's like it's almost expected. Like people like, oh, did you perform yet? Did you perform yet? Like, nah, I'm gonna go on in 20 minutes.
Well,
20 minutes later, I'm going to 20 minutes.
Yeah.
20 minutes later, I'm going on in 20 minutes.
Well,
So it's cool.
yeah, I mean, talk about just an innovative way to like distribute your music. Like, people are trying to always like, and we talk about this too, creating your own lane. Like right now, you have to, in order to get yourself out there, especially with no push on an independent level. We live in such an independent marketplace right now.
Yeah.
It's and doing something through the internet. Like one, the blogs aren't as powerful as they were back
much noise.
6 years
Very
ago.
true. Yeah. It's no
They don't-
filter. It's no
Yeah.
filter.
Nah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Cats can
Use-
pay to get whatever they want.
Yeah,
put
it
on.
used to be out. Used to go on a blog, and then like you could go viral from that. Like just it's crazy. But now it's like like it really doesn't do much. So to do something cool like this, it's being creative and getting your music out there in just a different way and creating your own lane and letting that grow.
Yeah.
Plus a live experience. But really interesting. I think this is like for people trying to break into this industry, like you've had a quote unquote break into it now 3 times. You've had you and I, you're solo, and then up into the album, and then like, damn, I'm alone again in this.
Yeah.
How do I get this out? And I start from 0 again.
Yeah.
And now here's another way to become successful. That's the evolution of being an artist, being a writer, being a creative person in this business in 2016.
Yeah.
That's what it means to be that. And you have to be malleable. You have to change. You have to be open.
Yeah.
And I think reinventing yourself every time, you kind of push to do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to ask you this in summation. You feel me? Because I feel like we've reached such a beautiful point here, and like in my gorgeously twisted mind, like you came out with LA riots, right? You felt like people didn't know who you were, right?
Yeah.
Or didn't have an understanding, right? From that point where you went dolo and you've been grinding, and again, you see the same trials and tribulations of the path, whether it's in a group or whether it's solo,
Yeah.
right? Do you feel like people know the you that you want them to know, or is that still developing?
I feel like people know the place that people are aware of the place that I hold in LA.
Okay.
And it's like a unique position because like nobody's doing what I'm doing.
Okay.
And I feel like this project that I intend to put out, Blood on the Canvas, they'll have no choice but to know who I am. They have the experience to come see me personally, in the flesh. Then they're going to have the music to support this whole lifestyle that I'm like providing for them.
Word.
Because this music, Blood on the Canvas, is the soundtrack to Party in My Living Room.
Word.
From stories to like just anthems and, everything that I'm doing. It all supports this whole lifestyle. So I'd say people are open to who Thurz is going to be, and they're going to be informed after they receive the music.
Okay. So you've informed the people, right?
I've alerted them.
You've alerted them.
Yeah.
Blood on the canvas will come out, right? But before the blood is shed, let me ask you this.
Blood has been shed.
Blood has been shed.
A
Yeah.
lot of it.
But
Yeah.
before the blood gets to the canvas, right, and gets put on display,
Yeah.
who is the Thurz that you want the people to know?
The Thurz that I want people to know is just a culture architect of LA. So it's just pretty much a person that's really from Los Angeles, from Inglewood, California, you know, that has experience from on all levels and just a relatable human that puts family first.
Word.
That's, you know, will fight you if necessary.
Yeah.
Is going to educate you if necessary. It's going to feed you if you broke.
Yeah.
You know, it's just that human person that you value. You know, it's like I'm the homie,
Yeah.
and I'm a protector. I'm a provider. I'm like, and I hate to say like, but I'm just pretty much how I feel about myself. I just feel like I'm an innovator and a relatable human being, and it's going to be vocalized through music.
Absolutely. Your story will be told.
Yeah, it's going to be told. And yeah, man, I'm an architect, bro. I'm an architect. I'm a designer. I'm a lot of things. I wear many hats, but
Yeah.
you know, as an artist, you definitely have to hone in and let people know who you are. And it's crazy, man. You definitely have to find those one-liners.
Yeah.
Those
Let-
one-liners.
Let me ask you this. Coming from the point of when you as second grade Thurz like knew you wanted to do music, then you as that person went through Rapture Camp, and then you and I broke apart, and then you reached a point where Thurz of You and I died, and now you needed to re-identify yourself. And you also knew that people didn't know you, right? You've reached this point now where you've gone through so many trials and tribulations. You've dealt with all the spoils and the hardships and the beauties and the successes of your path.
Yeah.
Being you as Thurz, the artist, being you as Yannick, the person, being you as Yannick, the father and the family man, at this point, with all of those things coming together, what does success mean to you now?
This is going to be a like a 3-part answer.
Get it?
And the simple answer is success is party in my living room.
Okay.
Now, when I was a child, when I was first, introduced to music, my culture is very celebratory. We celebrated everything.
Yeah.
When I was a kid with my grandma, my mom, my aunt, we partied in the living room. They played music and they would dance, and people would have fun. Whatever.
And you saw that from a very young age.
Yeah, saw that from a very young age. Culture is wealth. So it's crazy, coming full circle.
Yeah, bar. Culture is wealth, the man said.
Drop that.
I feel you. You almost fell off your chair. That was so deep.
Damn.
So it's crazy coming full circle and then being able to do party in my living room. And it's crazy, just even in high school, my best experiences were at house parties. Whether I'm in Ladera or Baltimore Hills, it comes back to the house party and experiencing these fucking ratchet records, these Luke records, dancing with girls or whatever, and just being able to go home and be like, damn, I was doing my thing with that chick or whatever. You know what I mean? It's just, that's part of my culture brick in high school.
Yeah.
So just being able to not forget culture and just having it evolve and being able to now represent culture that has almost been lost in LA, I feel like that's a point of success. And being able to create a platform from that culture and take it across the world is partly success. And just being able to just take my beginnings is part of success.
Yeah.
Being able to sit in the living room with my kids and dance to the newest record, whatever, is part of success. So it's like being able to party in any living room is part of success. Being able to have my music showcased to 500 people, 600 people is part of success. So it's like any way that I'm touching people in the most purest form is success. And if I'm able to monetize that, that's even better. So part of my living room is success.
You know what's wild, bro? Like, I'm gonna tell you this, family, and like the only reason I say this is this is such an intimate like moment for me is that you have one of the biggest hearts I've ever seen, right? And it's a beauty to have it reaffirmed that home is where the heart is.
Yeah.
You feel me? Whether it's your community, whether it's your culture, whether it's your family, the journey that you've had has allowed you to embrace the fact that the living room is a place of refuge. Yeah. Whether it's your friends, your peers, or your direct family, the living room is somewhere sacred.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? And my hope is that that living room continues to grow.
Hell yeah.
And that living room becomes the world, bro.
Yeah, bro.
You feel me?
Hell yeah. I love that. I love that.
It's love, man. It's love. And like, bro, like I just want to end it on this. You know what I'm saying? Like, you've dropped so much wisdom on us, man. Like, I love that we're able to do this. I love that we're able to just talk so freely. And it warms my heart and spirit that we're able to give this to the world.
Yeah.
And you know what's crazy is that we're in your living room as you're in our living room. Literally. And the inception fact that Leo won a fucking Oscar this year, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is a beautiful scenario, bro. Thurz, Yannick, I love you to death, bro.
Likewise,
you know what I'm saying? Bro. Your story is riveting. Your story is incredible. I'm glad whoever is listening to this will have the opportunity to hear this. You know what I'm saying? The fact that we have family here, Joe, Thurz, myself, like, you have literally given this living room new meaning. You know what I mean? And I literally want to call my mother right now at fucking 1 a.m. and tell her that we all made it. You feel me? Because whether it's a trial, a tribulation, a success, a fucking chaotic downfall, everything that happens to us in our lives allows us to be better equipped day by day to make it.
Yeah.
You feel me? This road isn't linear. Nope. This road isn't always bright.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? The only motherfucking thing that we know is that we're always on this road.
Yeah.
You feel me? And your journey is a testament to that. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah. Living room talks.
Where can people find you, Thurz?
Man, ThurzEveryday.com, partymyliving.com.
Damn, this motherfucker got a lot of .com. What's up?
.com, go there too.
Where your socials at, baby? Oh, you got another website that we need to throw in?
Nah, that's only websites. King Thurz on IG.
Word.
Thursday with a Z on Twitter. Search me as Thurz on Facebook, THURZ.
Word.
You can just Google THURZ.
Yes.
Everything should pop up. And YouTube, Thursday. Yeah, man. I'm everywhere. So
let's go.
Let's go.
SoundCloud.
You can catch this on you can catch this stream on mamawemade.com.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go, baby. Go on iTunes, subscribe, rate it. Review it. Give us 5 stars.
Comment.
Give us 5 stars.
Talk
baby.
shit to us. Talk shit to Thurz.
Talk
you know
shit
what I mean?
Thurz.
It's an open forum over here because naturally y'all in our living room, right? So let's have living room conversations in this motherfucker.
Hell yeah. Thurz, so happy.
Hey, blessing,
so
bro.
happy that you came on. Thank you so
Thanks
much. This has
real.
been an absolute incredible interview.
Yeah, man.
One to be remembered for fucking lifetime.
A lifetime,
like this was amazing. Very, very special. Very, very grateful to be a part of this, man. So
definitely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nah, thank you guys, man. So,
and you listeners, holla.
Holla. Listen, call your mother. Tell her you're going to make it. You feel me? Let's go.